Hi, welcome to Thursday with a Friend. My name is Lawrence, Larry, Punk with Toys, Larry Neck, so many other names that people have given me, and some that I probably shouldn't say within like the first minute or so of the show. But anyway, my next guest. Some of you may have seen him before. He's only been on live once, and that was right after Joe Fest. But you guys have heard us talk about his, at least you've heard me discuss his arms having the best arms in the toy community, at least in the G.I. Joe community. And that is my special guest, G.I. Bro. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking a little bit of time away from the gym.
Yeah.
I hope you don't have to leave and go get a quick workout in.
No.
I know it's important to you.
No, this is rest day. Thursday's rest day.
Thursday's rest day. Okay, well, I'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
Did you work out at all at Joe Fest?
Yeah.
Did you go to the
I
gym?
did at the hotel, yeah.
How was it?
Cardio and a couple dumbbells. There was nothing there.
Okay. I didn't go and look. Travis wanted to go work out. He's like, we need to go work out.
I didn't stay at your guys' hotel.
Oh, okay.
I was at the other one. What's his name from Super 7 was over there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I saw the gym. I didn't think that. I thought there was a little bit more. I always say I'm going to work out when. I said I'm going to work out when I'm here, and I don't. Let alone actually on vacation. So
I booked late, and they were full, so I had to get a different hotel.
Did you book this year?
No, I still haven't. But my wife was just talking about maybe she would want to go, and she said, I want to see Georgia. I said, well, there's nothing in Augusta, so you probably don't. So
there's a museum next to us.
Yeah, I didn't see it open, though. Was it even open?
I have no idea because
right. We were in the right place.
But again, we were there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday during the day when it would have been open.
Yeah.
And you probably weren't going outside for a smoke break, is my guess.
No, I didn't smoke. Yeah. No, but I think it's just going to be me and my son again. So, we're going to book soon so we can get the room and everything. Yeah,
I would just do you have AAA by any chance?
Yeah.
Use AAA. I got the queen room, 2 queen beds, the same suite that I had before for $1,000, and that's for Thursday. That's for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. So that's for 4 nights.
Yeah, that's good.
Again, it's better if you're sharing with someone, but that has a separate room with, I think it's 2 queen beds, and then you have a pull-out couch. So, and I think there was another one that maybe was a little bit cheaper. I mean, just slightly cheaper, like with one bed, but, and that's not even using the discount. That was using the AAA discount. So I wasn't even using the Joe Fest because all theirs are, I think, sold out. I booked a single room, but I can't find where the reservations are. And that's like $700 and some, like $750. So I'm like, if I can split the room, why don't we just do that? So
yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I need to book. I do have to be late. I haven't bought the tickets. I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
So, but we're definitely going. We'll be there.
That is my plan to get there. Yeah. So anyway, how's your week down? How's your week been?
Good. It's raining, but other than that, yeah.
All right. So I normally don't ask this early, but where are you at in California?
I'm in Fresno.
Okay, because my ex and my daughter just flew out to San Diego,
right,
to spend time with my oldest who just moved out there. And I asked Olivia, I'm like, hey, you guys doing anything? She's like, it's raining. I'm like, it doesn't rain there. It's 70 degrees all year round.
Right.
What are you talking about? It's raining.
I don't know, man. There's during Comic-Con, it usually gets pretty hot. It'll get to 100 and then everybody's crying and, melting. But in Fresno, it gets to 110 every summer. So we're used to the heat.
You sound like Tony whining and crying about the heat. I'm like, you're from Arizona. Just deal with it.
Oh, well, yeah.
Dry.
Georgia's different. Yeah. Me and Tony have dry heat. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah. We're in Michigan. It's almost 100% humidity. Georgia's hotter. But I think after 100 degrees, it doesn't even matter. 100 in humidity, it doesn't even matter.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah. The last day, I was waiting for everyone. I was waiting for everyone to come down, and so I got out and I started walking across. There's that walkway up there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I walked all the way down to the highway and back. Holy shit, was it hot? And I had pants on too. I don't even think I put shorts on. I don't know if I had my shorts on. All I know, it was hot, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I didn't have pants. Yeah, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was just the sun was beating down, and I saw other people walking. I'm like, you guys are idiots.
Well, I had to walk 15 minutes to get to the to Joe Fest every day and back. So the night that we all stayed up late, what was a Saturday night?
Yeah,
I'm walking across Augusta at 3:00 in the morning by myself. You know, it was a little sketchy.
Did your son already go home?
Yeah, he had already stayed home. So it was just me hanging out
with you guys. Yeah,
we were in the lobby and stuff. Yeah. So he was, you know, just watching TV. But yeah.
I didn't really.
I'm walking through Augusta by myself. Luckily, you know, it's a pretty clean town. Like there was one homeless person, which is crazy for my area.
Is he the one that asked you for money?
No, he didn't ask me for anything.
Because I know this guy found. I know this guy found one, and the guy.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he tried talking about his Lord and Savior, if I remember correctly. And then when Ed told him like, I don't believe or something, he was like, "Fuck you," or. Like, well, I don't think your Lord and Savior would like that. I don't know.
No.
Ed has the whole story. Well, I'll try and remember it on this Saturday when Ed pops up, because we're doing the clubhouse takeover again. But we're doing doing Saturday night toy ramblings, because I'm not working on Monday. I'm not doing this on Monday, shall I say?
Right.
So I'm hosting. Ed, oh man!
Oh no!
Ed. Oh dude, Ed was like, "Oh yeah, because he said he'll be dead like before the end of the night or something." So we started making jokes, like we were texting each other to make sure that he was still alive. Anyway, let's quickly say hi to the chat. We got Christoph Scuba here. We have Krusty Old Crow jumping in. 3-star draw. SCS Dog. Matthew Matson, who still refuses to go to Joe Fest. Beardison. Viper Scout. Woody 222 is in the house. Sean Jones. Did I already say Gun Buddy Customs? If I didn't, here he is. Toy Matrix. Nolan, which makes us Toy Tube official. 3-star draw. Mendoza. And we already said hi to Ed, Action Figs, and is there anyone else? Tony is here saying, Larry.
Hey, Tony.
Sup, dudes. Let's see here. Anyone else? I think we got everyone. It's weird not seeing your name in here. Len has joined us with Plastic Skulls. It's kind of weird. Like I don't need someone that's on air saying hi to me in the chat. So let me ask. Where does the name GI Bro come from?
Well, it's new. It's a new account, and both Instagram and YouTube I've only had for less than a year. But I wanted I've got accounts under a different name, but it's all fitness stuff. And then I started getting into classified in April and March of last year, and I wanted a new account. And my daughter came up with it, and she said it fit me. And I thought, is that a diss? Is she roasting me a little bit? But I went with it, and it worked.
She might be a little bit, but I think it fits you perfectly.
And I wanted something that people would remember, and it seems like people remember it.
I'm kind of surprised people don't have it.
No one had it. No one except who's the wrestler that used to go by GI Bro? From Harlem Heat, Booker T. He used to go by GI Bro.
Oh my goodness, you're right. That was a long time
A
ago.
long time ago, yeah.
That was a long time ago, man. Were they Harlem Heat? They weren't even Harlem Heat.
No, it wasn't Harlem Heat. No,
that
was before WCW. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't think about that. That's they were.
So I can get GI Bro shirts that are already printed that look perfect because of Booker T. So thank you, Booker T.
They're not even from Harlem.
No, they're not. They were great though. I loved Harlem Heat.
I did too, and I think Booker T went on to be awesome. I mean,
yeah, he was great.
He, it was wrong to make him a 6-time champion because his gimmick was 5-time.
Yeah.
Was he? Did he win it more than 5 or 6 times? Because I know he won it when he got to the WWF, but he was 5 times.
Yeah, he did win it after he got there. I don't know my history. Yeah, you've got somebody else probably in the chat that would know better than me.
Yeah, I'm sure there's got to be a couple people jumping in here. Here's Todd C. So anyway, do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 53.
You are an older man, and you are, and I don't think anyone's gonna know it.
No, I'm older than most people in this community for sure. Like I'm on the old end of it.
Then again, I'm 49, so it's not like it's not like I'm like trailing far behind you or anything. But again, I don't think anyone's gonna see you and think that you're, 53. You said 53,
no, because I'll beat them in anything.
We have some competitive spirits there, I see.
Yes, for sure.
Bobby Wold has joined us. Grizzlehorn saying he is 45. See, that's young. You're a youngin.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because you see someone now that's 53, 54, 60. They're not what we thought of when we were kids. You were 40 and you thought like, oh, you're almost dead.
No, like All in the Family, they were in their 40s.
I know I've told this before. Olivia and I were watching Elf for a short bit, and I was looking at the dad, and I was like, how old was he? And I said, hey, Olivia, do I look as old as him? And this was like last year. So I was like either 47 or 48. And she's like, no. So how old do you think he is? She's like, 50. I'm like, he's like 38 there. And Willie looked super old. And I'm like, all right, I know I've always looked young to begin with, but I see a lot of people my age. And I actually saw something today about millennials are the only people that are, in their late 40s, early 50s that still look like they're in their mid 20s. Right. And a lot of us do. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
I think
it's really weird.
I think the Golden Girls were all younger than us when they were doing their thing.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Which is
crazy. Yeah.
I love that show, but oh my God, dude. Like, how do we start to age so much better? And then you see other people that are like, I remember my ex and I going to the kids' school, and we'd be looking around going, we don't look this old, do we? I'm like, no. And we both had, she had her daughter when she was really young, but we had our kids. Like, I didn't have Andrew till 31 and Olivia till 34. Yeah. So,
me too.
Yeah. Which I still think is probably too old to have kids because they don't care, man. They don't care. They want to. They don't care. When your knees start going, when everything starts going, your back starts hurting. They don't care. They want to jump on you.
Yep. That's right.
And Stanley saying he'll be 47 soon. Oh, I miss 47.
I know, right? Yeah.
All right. So where are you from?
Central California. I grew up right outside of Fresno. Fresno's the big city for the Central Valley. And I grew up out in the country on a little ranch.
So you're still in the same area where you were born and everything?
Yeah, I'm about 30 minutes from where I grew up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about 3 miles from where I grew up. So I can't say nothing to people that don't move away. My ex was always aggravated. She's like, everywhere we go, I'm like, it's a big area. and I haven't moved, you know.
Yeah.
So of course
Yeah.
I'm gonna run into people. You were from up north in Detroit, and so
Right.
yeah, you're not gonna see people or meet people. Did you have any siblings?
I've got a half brother, but I didn't really grow up with him.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're basically an only child.
Yep.
All right, so you said 53, right? Or did you say?
Yeah. 53. Yeah. Born in 71.
Yeah, so a little bit older than obviously a little bit older than me. Do you remember like the first toys you were playing with? Not like the first ones you
Yeah.
thought you were with, but like the first toys that you had.
Yeah, I looked it up the other day. I knew this question was coming up, and it was Fisher Price.
Adventure People?
No, it was before that.
Little People?
Little people, the ones that had no adventure in them at all.
Just a little circle at the bottom.
Yeah, a little peg thing.
Yes,
that's it. Yep.
The barnyard and stuff.
But it was all like hand-me-down stuff, so it wasn't. It wasn't. I remember the first toy that I got that was brand new.
Wait, hold on, wait. You're talking about like the barnyard and stuff, right?
Yeah, the barnyard and the plane.
Yeah. So I feel like every single grandparent, aunt or uncle that you had that, and there was always a hand me down. And I'm so glad you said that, because I swear there are toys that are just they were just hand me downs. Like they were never brand new.
No, they were all dirty. It was all dirty and scratched up. Yeah.
Yeah, like an episode of Saved by the Bell. No one's ever seen a brand new one. They were all reruns, right? There was never a new episode. It just was instantly a rerun.
That's right.
So that was like the first toys, and again, like I think we all that little popper, when you would push the popper, the telephone that you could pull.
Right.
Not that a kid would know what a rotary phone is today.
Right. Yeah, but I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, or AKA a weapon.
Yeah.
So what was the first toys you? So that was for you remember the hand-me-downs. What was the first toy you remember getting?
The first one that was brand new, I remember getting it for Christmas, was a Stretch Armstrong.
How long has Stretch Armstrong been around?
Had to be.
How old were you?
Had to be 70, 76, 77, maybe 76, maybe. Yeah.
I did not realize they were. I didn't realize it was that old.
I moved. Yeah, I remember the house that I got it in, and we moved when I was 7. So 6. I was not even 7 yet. So
I mean, I believe you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I remember seeing commercials for the Stretch Armstrong and seeing how far they could stretch them and everything. So
yeah, until you poke a hole in them and squeeze the jelly out of it. Yeah,
I just watched. It was a reel, and they cut them open. They stuck holes in them. They clamped it to see how big he would blow up, and they eventually had to pop it because it wouldn't explode. I'm sorry, that's creepy.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I wanted to see how the thing worked. I couldn't figure it out, and then I kind of destroyed it, and then it just turned into a rock. So yeah.
Ed is saying Stretch, I think, was out before Christmas of 77. I would not have.
No, that was probably the year then. Yeah.
But again, like toys lasted a lot longer. Movies were at the movie theater for an actual year. Not, hey, we're bringing this back for special weekend. I mean, Star Wars was for how long? I mean, Star Wars was out, it seemed like forever, or Jaws or whatever.
Right.
You don't get that anymore. Now it's like there's this weekend.
Weeks and yeah,
there's the drop off, and then it's there for like a month, and then it's like there's 1 or 2 showings of it, and no one's really seeing it. And you go, there's two other people there. How the good old days before the internet.
Yeah, and then it's streaming just like that.
And then streaming, that's just it. Everyone's here giving their age. D Griff is 55 here.
Hey, there he is.
He might be the oldest right now. Christoph Scuba is 53. We got Grizzlehorn 48, who's another youngin. I know Tony's 50 because he had a 50th birthday party, but his sister ruined it. Ed is 51, I believe. He's usually the old one, but all right. So, I mean, you're coming in. You would have been the perfect age for Star Wars, right?
Yeah. No, that was definitely the first one that I was collecting, that I was seeking out. And I had everything All of episode 4 and episode 5. I had every figure. I still do.
Tony, do not give me this wow, because I know what your sister is going through, but you've already said that we've made jokes about it, that she ruined the birthday party that you guys were supposed to have. So
Oh,
his sister is, going through I don't want to tell his business, a lot of medical issues right now, and none of her own doing like that. She's not a crackhead or anything. that we know of. I think you'd be happier if she was, because they know exactly what to do with that. I know. And the Nerd Alert has joined up saying, "What's up, people?" So, did you see Star Wars at the movie theater?
No, I saw it. I have a second cousin who I would go to their house once a year during the summer. They live at the coast. So I would go to the beach with them for about a week every year. And he was in the entertainment business, and he had a Beta Max way in the 70s.
Oh,
that year he had a tape of Star Wars. I don't know how. Looking back on it now, I have no idea how he had a tape of it, but I was able to watch it that year. I don't know what it had to be in the summer, so it was after it. So what was it? May it came out. It had to be probably around July or so. I saw it at somebody's house on a crappy TV.
But you said he was in the movie business, so
yeah, he was like a lawyer in the movie business, so he knew somebody. But I mean, we're talking about it was on tape before people had VCRs and stuff.
Yeah, but again, like you just said, like he's in the movie business.
Yeah.
If he was
that's how he got it. But still, it blows my mind that he had it, and then I watched it 3 times that weekend, and then it was over for me. I got every toy, and a lot of the vehicles. I still have everything.
Okay, so then was that kind of like your first toy love then?
For sure. Yeah.
All right. So you saw it, and now I got to ask you this, because now this has kind of become a standard question with this. When you played Star Wars, did you have to play it the same as the movies? Or was your mind willing to break away and let Han Solo do other things, like Luke Skywalker, or were you like, this is how the movie is, this is how we play?
No, I was free to do whatever I wanted. I had my own mind, Lawrence.
Yeah. I wish I did. Not for Star Wars. Like, it's the only thing. Like,
no, I didn't combine toy lines or anything like that ever. But no, we kind of did our own thing, because I had friends in the neighborhood that we would play together, and I was older than them too. So I would kind of tell them, this is what we're going to do, and this is the story that I've chosen to do.
I remember my first VCR my family had. It was a top loader, which isn't shocking. Yeah. But the wired remote.
Yep. You swing it around and hit somebody with it. Yep.
I don't remember ever seeing a wired remote. Now, I remember people telling me, or maybe being somewhere where they had a wired remote, but it never really got moved because you had to get up to go get it anyway. So why not just change the channel when you're there?
Yeah, I was the remote control. I was the one that got up and changed the TV for my parents. Yeah.
And Grizzle watching entertainment in the 70s on Beta equaled pornographer.
Yeah.
So we were like one of the last people to have a Beta. And I remember going to, like, there was only like one place after a while that rented them, and we would have to drive out there. And now John at Sergeant Red's swears it is not his building. But I'm like, it's either your building or one of these other buildings, because I remember exactly, like, as a kid, like the downtown area that it was, like where, and it's one of those buildings, like right off of Van Dyke where they're at. And I'm like, there used to be a video store, and now we're talking. I mean, I would have been 6, 7, 8 years old before my mom passed away, so almost 40 years ago. And I'm like, there was a video store somewhere here. Because it was like the last place we could go. My dad had like two John Wayne betas. He still has them. So there's no beta.
Yeah, what is he gonna do with it?
He's a John Wayne collector.
Ah,
So, I guess as bad as if you had the original G.I. Joe on VHS, and you're like, why do you have that? And you're like,
because it's G.I. Joe. Yeah.
I mean, I still have the Star Wars on VHS, and they're not even like the old ones.
Yeah, I still have some too. I don't know why.
Because we have issues.
Well, I have the original cut because they changed it. And then I thought, well, now I can't get rid of it. But now I can't watch it either. So it doesn't matter.
Did they ever release the original cut on DVD after? They had a special edition.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or no, they have it on DVD. They never put it on Blu-ray, I don't think. The
original.
Yeah, they tried. They said, "Oh, this is it," and then you watch it, and you're like, "But it's not fully it." You know, you changed. I want the original. Because that movie holds up. All three of those movies, the technology still does hold up.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so Star Wars was like the first love that you said. Do you remember? Right. Was there something else? Did anything else come in? Because you're older, so I guess.
Whoa. Take it easy.
5 years is huge. 5 years is huge because
no, there was nothing that took over until G.I. Joe. But there was little things like Micronauts would get thrown in there, and no other toy lines though. Nothing that I was collecting. So things that I ran across that I'm like, this could add to the story that I'm going to make that's not straight from the movies.
Okay, but G.I. Joe, that's 82. So you're already 11 years old.
Right.
And a lot of times I feel like between 11 and 13 is where a lot of people are starting to move away from toys.
For me, it was 12. I hit my 12th birthday and I'm like, I'm grown up now. No more toys.
So how deep in G.I. Joe could you have gotten?
I only got about 6 or 7 in of the first wave. So not even, I can't even tell you all the ones I had. I remember a few of them, but I didn't get very many of them. And then I was like, I got to stop because sports and girls, I was 12.
That's 12.
So at 12, I'm like, I got other priorities right now. So, yeah.
All right. So let's stay back really quickly with this. So it was basically Star Wars for you. And you said you had a lot of vehicles, almost all the figures, and you said you still have the stuff?
Yeah, I have all until Jedi. I didn't have any in Jedi because that was my cutoff. It had fallen. Yeah, it was my 12-year birthday was over. So
do you have a lot of your original toys, or just your Star Wars?
I don't know. I haven't seen the G.I. Joe for a while. I've got a garage that's a mess. And we moved here frantically, and everything got thrown in the garage. And I've seen all the Star Wars toys and all the vehicles and everything. So I've got all those. I don't know where they got to be out there somewhere.
Okay, so how did your toys survive? Because so many people are like, mine are gone. Now, we all know that most of my G.I. Joe stuff, it's not most of it, but most of the G.I. Joe stuff that I had as a kid, I still have. All the other stuff, I have no idea. Why did yours, what kept yours survive?
Well, just like a lot of people you've talked to, I transitioned out of toys into comic books.
Okay.
So I had a huge comic book collection. So I took care of those. So at my old house, I had all the toys and comics in one room. So they were all together.
Your parents never were like, it's time for you to get rid of this stuff or anything?
No.
You never felt the need to?
No.
Okay.
No. I never sold anything, and everything's played with and everything's open, and I still have some of the old boxes, but they're beat up. They were just storage boxes.
Okay. So you hit 12. You get that first hair down there, and you're like,
right.
No more toys.
Right.
But comics.
Right. Yeah. And comics were already part of it anyway. So
That's what I was going to ask. So
yeah.
comics seem like a natural progression. They're
Right.
easy to hide, or you just say, "Oh, I like reading it." Right? It's just a
You're right.
story.
Right.
You don't get made fun of as much.
No.
Um, so 12 comes along. What do you start doing? Because you put the toys away. And was it just like a
It was
hard cutoff?
sports. I was playing sports almost year round.
So I mean, was it a hard cutoff for you?
Yeah.
Like, it sounds
Yeah.
like you were just like,
Yep. No, I had no. I'm like, no, well, I got a competitive spirit and it really hit me right about Little League. And I got put on the C team in our division, and I was pissed because all my friends were on A team. So I'm like, clearly they think I'm not good enough. So if I'm not naturally good enough, I got to work my tail off to get to A team. And I worked my way there. I wasn't the best on A team, and I was playing left field, but I was on A team eventually. So
okay.
it was really something that I was working all year on, even back then.
All right. So you're in middle school, right? That's 12th
Well,
grade.
yeah, no, I went to a country school and it was kindergarten to 8th grade. So
Oh,
no middle school. Yeah.
come on. You could have still been sneaking toys in there.
Oh, I could have. Yeah. I could have, but I don't know, man. It was probably an influence of some stupid show or something where I felt like I had to be grown up or something.
Digger saying, I collect some Robotech stuff at 15 to 16, but didn't play with it. Yeah, very few of us, other than Ed, were playing with their toys if they were still collecting. Because again, I still picked up some G.I. Joe stuff from here, from time to time. And my stuff mostly wasn't even put away, to be 100% honest, because I had slept in the basement. I was a skateboarder. Again, we're already hated. Like going in toys isn't going to make it any worse.
Yeah.
So and all my friends, I mean, they were like video game nerds. So they didn't care. And Big M is joining us, and same with Motu Guru. Please hit that like button if you haven't. Also, I put your Instagram in the description, so if you want to go over and follow your Instagram, please do it. And I do have to say before we go on, you do such a wonderful job. You and Cobweb do such a good job of promoting other people's stuff, like taking other people's pictures, putting it up there. And I'm not stealing their pictures, but taking their pictures.
No.
I need to do better.
Yeah.
I need to do better because
I just like to show people what I'm seeing that I think is cool and make sure that they get credit for it too.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah. You and Cobweb, you guys both do it. I see other people do it too, but you two are the ones that really stand out that are always doing it. So I do appreciate it. Every time I see one of my pictures, I'm like, oh, wait, that's not me.
Yeah.
All right. So what sports did you get into?
Back then it was just baseball. And then it was the stupid elementary school sports that we were playing, basketball, but it wasn't real basketball. It was just, especially in the country, we were only playing a couple schools. We would wrestle a little bit every year from 6th on, but it was a couple tournament. It was a couple of meets and then one big tournament. So it wasn't a full season.
All right. So you said you were in a country school, so it's kindergarten to 8th. I couldn't even imagine that. I feel like it's Little House on the Prairie or something.
That's how it felt like it at times.
That's how I pictured those things. They're all one room.
No, not quite like that. But we were still standing in line, single file in 8th grade to go into class. No gum, no nothing. Yeah, it was weird.
When you went into high school,
culture shock.
Okay, so what was high school? So did you go to like a regular high school? Or?
Yeah, my parents got separated and then divorced. They got divorced when I was 12.
Okay.
Maybe that was part of when I was like, hey, I need to transition into different things. So that may have played a part in it too. But we moved out of the country. We moved 30 minutes into the city
Okay.
And so I ended up finishing off 7th and 8th grade, going back and forth every day because my mom still worked in that town. So we would go with her. Me and her would go every day. And then when I went to high school, I went to the city school.
Okay.
So, yeah.
When you said you moved out of the country, I was thinking, oh, well, so yeah, the president was elected that your mom didn't like, and you guys
No, that's
did what
we
you were going to
call
say.
it out here in the sticks. Yeah.
So you left.
You guys don't know about
sticks.
milking cows every day, but that's,
Hey, we have farms here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't. I mean, I'm a city.
not Detroit. Yeah.
No. I mean, I know about it, and it is here. There's lots of farms.
Yeah, they exist at other places. Yes.
Yes, I like horns. I like cars. I like the sound. I like mall. I don't like malls, but I like that they're there. I like traffic because I don't want to have to drive somewhere. I don't have to drive 40 minutes to get to a fucking Target. Right? I want.
Yeah, that's the way it was when I was a kid. Yep. We had to go to the store. We had to go into town to go to the store, and then we would buy everything in one day. Yeah.
Well, that's why it's called the Dollar General. They were called the general merchandise store. I didn't realize that till later on. And
it just had everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And then someone that was a manager there was telling, like, that's why it's called the Dollar General. You can get pretty much everything. And I was like, oh, that actually makes sense. That sucks.
Yeah.
But once again, going back to Little House on the Prairie, where you would go into the little general store. All right. So now you have a culture shock.
Right.
And how is that?
No friends. Zero friends. Because it's totally different place. So
okay. So do you make friends easily? Or
I do generally, but I did then because we had football practice in the summer before school started. So I made some friends before school even started.
So is that the first time that you start playing football? No,
we had a little, I forget what kind of league it was, but it was just a little summer thing that we had out in the country. It was tackle, but it was not really football. I mean, we played a little bit, but so I had a little experience of actually doing it, but nothing serious. Not like the other junior high school kids. They were playing full seasons and I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what sports are you playing in high school?
I played football, wrestled, baseball, and track. But track was just throwing. So I was shot put and discus. Because I was a lot heavier then.
Your daughter didn't think about G.I. Jock?
No. She didn't go there. No.
So are you still into sports today?
Well, a little bit. I was doing CrossFit competitively a few years ago.
Do you watch sports? How about that?
Oh yeah, I watch sports. Yeah.
Because not everyone likes sports ball. That's as we know.
Yeah, I know. Hey, everybody's geeks for different things. There are sports geeks, and that are the same as anything else.
And that's just it. It's no different.
No,
that's why it's so weird thinking like toy collecting was looked down upon. Where it's like, don't you collect a little card, or the tops, or what was the sticker?
Oh
book?
Yeah,
baseball sticker books.
Right.
I love those. It never seemed like you got it complete. We go up to Perry Drugs, which became Rite Aid Drugs, which became bankrupt.
Right.
And of course, 84 Tigers, right? Like we're buying the stickers and trying to complete it, but they had the foil stickers, and you always had to line them up. Come on, someone tell me what was that sticker book? It was so much fun. All right. So, are you still collecting comic books?
Or what was it?
Are you still collecting comic books?
Yeah. All through high school, we had an open campus at my high school, so we could leave for lunch every day, even as freshmen. So we had it was wild. We had like a Carl's Jr. across the street. You don't even know Carl's Jr., but I know
Carl's is.
Okay. We had
Carl's Jr.
across the street, so we'd go eat. And then down the street was an arcade and a comic book shop. And a lot of times we'd go to the comic book shop and not make it back to school. and just hang out there for the rest of the day. And the guy would be playing, rated R. He'd be playing action movies and stuff, and he just let us stay. So comic books I was heavy into comic books all through high school.
SCS Dog saying jerseys on game day is cosplay.
Sure.
And,
with face paint. Yeah, absolutely. It is.
Especially if you let your girlfriend, the girlfriend always wore. Like I never thought about that, but it basically is cosplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Viper Scout says that they're Panini sticker books. You're right. They were so much fun. Honestly, so much fun. And Grizzlehorn saying, hit the like button. And here's Eric Thurman. I've never had Carl's Jr., but they're Hardee's.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, because I see the dual commercials. But I also thought Hardee's was also closely tied with Arby's. I thought they were.
I don't think so. Because they both had like the Happy Star logo and stuff.
Maybe that's what it is. I always thought they were the same, and then I know Hardee's went away, and Arby's took over most of the Hardee's, and then Hardee's came back. So we do have some Hardee's around here. I don't think I've ever been to one, at least not as an adult. I know that. Kenzo's jumping here. You don't like?
No. Stay away from that food, Lawrence.
Oh, I eat like shit all the time.
Yeah. No. Do better.
It ain't happening. Lots of pizza. I'm on the road all day and I'm lazy. And Clint Jorgensen, owned by Carl's Jr. Okay. So Hardee's is owned by Carl's Jr. That makes sense. I know that, like I said, I know there's like a dual thing. Anyway, okay, so Matthew's saying Hardee's are not Arby's. I know that. But I think all the Hardee's, they went out of business for a while, and most of them became Arby's here. I'm not saying they bought them. I just remember like when they went out, most of them became Arby's, and then Hardee's came back. That's more than enough Hardee's and Carl's Jr. talk on this.
Absolutely. We might get back to the Carl's Jr. talk, though.
All right. So that's mostly that's what you do through high school. Get into any type of music
and work. No, it was sports. It was sports and reading comic books and barely passing classes and chasing girls and working from 15 on.
So did you graduate high school?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you go on to college or did you go right into?
Yeah, a little bit. I got a little taste.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah.
you start going. Yeah, I got a co-op job, and then I never went back.
Right.
I was like, no, that's okay. I'd rather just try and make money.
Yep.
Yeah. I probably would have done better had I stayed in college.
We all would have. Yes.
Exactly. That's why, I don't. If my kids don't want to go to college, it's one thing. But you have to have a plan.
Right. You gotta have something. Yeah. You can't be. Yeah.
My son is, he's going to community college. He's trying to figure things out. He knows what he wants to do. Olivia, she wants to be a lawyer. I want to go to University of Michigan.
She'll be a good lawyer.
Matthew says, you can't control the chat, Lawrence. We're going to talk about what we want. Because there's a lot of Carl Jr. talk right now.
Oh, boy.
GI Bro right now. Rich right now is on his iPad. So I don't know how well, or even if you
I can't even see the chat.
Can't even see the chat?
No. I was, yeah.
It's okay. You don't need to see anything.
I'll rewatch it. I'll rewatch it with the chat on.
Yeah, I'll highlight it.
Yeah,
I'll highlight anything that you need to see. All right. So, what did you do after you graduated? Like, what kind of work did you do? Did you find it?
I was working fast food from 15 until about 22.
Is this Carl's Jr.?
No, it was Taco Bell at first, and then it was Carl's Jr.
Is that why you said I can do better?
Yeah. Yes. I've seen the insides of all that stuff. You don't want to mess with any of that.
I'm friends with a girl that used to work at Arby's, and she was like, yeah, I don't know what that stuff is. Like, I don't either, but it's really good.
Yeah.
If you ever figured I'm not a clean eater,
Yeah, I figured that out. Yeah.
I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to be like, oh, dog, I eat clean except for this. I hate when people say that. You know? 3 Star says Arby's for the win. Hey, they got some really good food. If you haven't had the Arby's mozzarella sticks, they're really good. I don't care what anyone says. All right, so
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Hey, we're all going to die. I don't care how clean you eat. I don't care how much you work out. We're all going to die. So most will be a little bit fatter, but we'll be like, hey, I ate some really tasty food. I don't care that it was all salt and grease.
Yeah, you do that. You do that.
I am. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's why you look like that and I look like this. All right.
We'll get you in shape. We'll get you in shape.
I'm in shape.
Oh, don't get sensitive. It's fine.
No, I'm in shape. We're all in a shape.
You are. Yeah.
All right. We are all in shape. All right.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, we're all in just different shapes.
Exactly.
You're right.
I still have abs if I flex them.
Everybody's got them. Yep. They're there.
No, you can actually see mine. Like if I flex them, you can see them. It's weird. I'm not super round. People have seen me more than enough, man. I'm all over the fucking place. Everyone has seen me. Anyway, so you start working at Taco Bell. Move on to
Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr. Yeah, I was out of high school by then, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So what else are you doing? You said are you reading comics? Do you start collecting toys? I mean,
I didn't start collecting toys until episode 1, until the prequels, I think, is when I actually, I did a little bit in the 90s. The Batman the Animated Series figures came out. So I had some of those. I left them on card back. I still have them. And I just had them on the wall. I didn't open anything and didn't display other than having them on the wall. But I didn't really collect anything until the Star Wars came back. And then
not Power of the Force, though.
Not Power of the Force. I missed all that.
Okay. You didn't miss
living life. Yeah.
You didn't miss it.
I was busy. I was working a lot then. So
all right. So what are you doing other than working? I'm assuming had you started working out?
Yeah, I didn't stop. Yeah.
Well, we didn't. Like, when did you? I guess when did you really start working out?
I first started. The first time I went to a gym was in my high school gym, and then I met a amateur bodybuilder, and we had like one bodybuilder gym in town. This is way before Gold's Gym existed as a franchise or anything like that. And I went there. It was just in a little office. It was an office building. It was one little office, and it was a stinky little, iron addict type of dirty gym that was amazing. And that's where I really learned how to work out. And then a love for that, as opposed to I'm working out at school for specific movements that I have to do in sports.
So this is funny because I'm doing a show where we're reviewing Reacher season 3. It's not even out yet, so we're watching the screeners. And there's an episode we watched episode 2, and this guy asked Reacher what his max bench is, and he says something like, "I don't know." He's like, "I don't know, benching's for pussies," or something like that, right?
I was thinking the same thing.
Do you even know what your max bench is?
No, I don't max anything.
Yeah, I don't. I put up 225.
Low weight, high rep, and no max.
Yeah, I was never strong on benching. I've always been stronger on the dumbbells for some reason. Now, obviously, you can't compare the two because I could put up 225 on the benches. I'm not doing over 110s on, with the dumbbells. But I was always strong with the dumbbells. I don't know why, but I don't think most people that work out, And Eric, I know you do because I see your videos. You're at the gym all the time.
There's nothing against it. You just gotta be smart about it. And the last time I maxed any lift was when we were doing a strength cycle. This was years ago when I was CrossFitting, and we would do a strength cycle and we would work up to that. So we'd spend an hour just working up to that and then hit a max, and then that way we have that number, and then 6 weeks later try to max again and see if it increased. But other than that, I haven't tried to max bench or anything else for years.
Yeah. Again, I it's weird. Like I had one guy in Detroit. I got out. This guy walking down the street. He goes, "Damn!" He goes, "How much you bench?" I'm like, "I have no idea."
Yeah, well, that's what everybody thinks is the benchmark of strength, and it's not really. Like my max is, I don't know. It's going to be 2 plates, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, benching is as essential as it is, even though Planet Fitness doesn't have any. Don't get me started on that. But they have awesome massage chairs. They have awesome massage chairs, and I'm not paying for it, so I don't care. I can find other things to do. Oh, 49. I'm not trying to do what I used to do. You probably have a closer idea of what maybe not what your max deadlift is, but you probably know closer deadlifts and squats. What your high?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I could tell you what I usually I'm around 200 on a workout for chest, but I'm not pushing to max because I don't want to tear anything. I don't need to get injured. I got a bad shoulder as it is, so I try to take it easy and go with high reps. So my strength goes up every single workout. If my strength isn't going up every workout, then I've got to reevaluate what I'm doing.
My buddy was a personal trainer a few years ago. He got me more into doing sets of 50s. I love doing 50s.
Yeah, that's high rep. Yeah.
Yeah. And not like super lightweight, but obviously you can't go. But doing timing stuff. And it became like skateboarding. Like I was trying to beat my time.
Right.
At the same weight. Because once you beat your time, your wind is up, you're stronger, but then you can move on and actually do other things. Right. He used to run me through this. The first time he ran me through this leg one, it was just, he's like, this thing should take you, I don't know, like a half hour. It took me over an hour and I barely finished. And by the time I was done doing that, I was doing it in 17 minutes. And it wasn't at the weight. It was like, it was 12 squats, 12 box jumps, and then lunges across the floor and back. And then 9 squats, 9 box jumps, lunges, 6, 3, all these drops, right?
Right.
And the weight was not a problem because it wasn't super heavy weight. But man, you realize how out of shape you really are when you don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's CrossFit right there. That's a CrossFit.
And that's it was a lot of that. Where I've never been a CrossFit guy. I've never been an Olympic guy. But when he started showing me some of the Olympic lifts and stuff, they were fun. And I was able to not translate them, but associate them to how skateboarding was. Where I'm always competing with myself, but now there's actually something I can compete against of what I did before.
Right. Yeah. You record all your workouts. That way you could track it. And always improve. That's what it's about. Yeah.
And I did that for a while, and then I stopped. Now I do YouTube.
I don't do any CrossFit anymore either. I hurt my shoulder, and then I got out of it. And then I went strictly bodybuilding workouts.
It's some of the stuff I'm not a big fan of. The CrossFit pull-ups, I'm not a big fan of, but I understand why they're doing them.
Okay, all right. I'll push back a little bit. There's not a CrossFitter alive that does kipping pull-ups that can't do a ton of strict.
And that's not what I'm saying.
But
when you watch them, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
But there's a purpose for that.
Yes, but there are people that see that think this is how I need to do them, or that's how they're doing them, and they think they're done properly. Just
No.
like the people that squat and don't go down all the
Well,
way.
you could also say the same thing about Olympic lifting, and they see it and go, "Oh, I'll throw weight over my head too, like that," and then not know what they're doing and get hurt. So there's a lot of stuff. You need, not only do you need a CrossFit coach, you need a good CrossFit coach.
No. Again, like it goes across down to skateboarding.
Yeah.
That it's like
Sure.
you're trying to learn how to do a kickflip and you don't know how to ollie. So
Right.
you're missing the base of it, but you want to do a trick because
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the exact same concept.
It's a progression, and you got to have coaching to get there.
Because when you do, like when you see people make fun of other people that do Olympic lifts and they drop the weight, and you're like, "Oh my God, you just dropped it because you can't lift this." Like, no. First off, those aren't regular plates. All right, those are bumper plates.
They're made to do that.
Yeah. You know, and they're not doing it in the middle of the gym floor. It's supposed to be to the side.
Right.
It's supposed to be to the side. Yeah. And I don't care what anyone says. Bumper plates are lighter. And when you see people deadlifting and they don't tell you how much it is, but they got the big thick plate on it. If you look closely, sometimes you'll see that that's a 45, not a 90, but they want to make it look like they're lifting more. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Anyway, back to what you were doing as you graduated. So you've been working out this whole time. Like you started in high school.
Yeah.
I started when I was 18. My buddy got me into it, and like that was it. There were times that it was obviously way more important in my life, and there was times where I was skateboarding and lifting. So
yeah, there were times when I didn't. I took a big time off. When I was working, and I was working a physical job for a while, and then I just didn't have the energy to do it anymore. So I really dialed it back.
Matthew says, "I love CrossFit. They keep me in business."
I need my shoulder, Matthew. It's never been the same.
I think it's just absolutely crazy. Like I said, I've been working out for the most part. And I don't like to say I can't learn anything, but when I hear people try and tell me about working out, I'm like, dude, I know how to work out. Again, there's a lot of things that I can learn. Nutrition,
right.
I'm not even going to talk about. But if you really want to work out, and my son, he wants to start, he's been trying, he's going downstairs and he's working out. He's like, I watched this guy, and he said that if you're just doing standard curls, you're wasting your time. And I'm like, don't listen to that guy. There's try and true exercises. The bench press is tried and true, right? Deadlifts, squats, pull-ups, curls are curls. Yeah, if you're doing shitty curls and you're cheating all the time, you're right.
Well, even if you cheat curl, Arnold created the cheat curl, but it's the last set, just to squeeze out a couple more.
Yeah. But again, if you're cheating every single one.
No, you can't start that way. Then you're too heavy. You need to be able to curl that bar. Yeah.
But he told me something. I'm like, don't listen. I'm like, dude, I don't know what the hell that person is talking about. There are certain exercises. It doesn't mean you have to do them all the time. You don't have to do them all the time. No. But the bench press is never going away.
There's a reason.
Leg presses, all this stuff. It's there. It works. Right. And yes, they've learned that there's other things that you can do. But if someone's like, yeah, you don't ever have to bench press. Technically, you don't. But it's the number one chest exercise.
Yes. Tell me off TikTok. Don't get your advice from TikTok because they just want to act like they invented something.
Yeah. Now, again, when you're in your late 40s, 50s, 60s, even if you're late 30s, you've been working out a long time. You can walk into a gym and be like, all right, well, you know what? That is close enough to a bench. I can make it work. Right. And you also know what you want, right? You've been working out that long, Sorry to turn this into the workout show.
It's fine with me. We could do this all night.
We just might. And then
lose all your viewers, but that's all right. And then we'll get to toys.
Dreadnought K6 jumping in saying, yeah, Tren. Are you talking about the drug Tren? or are you referring to someone? Oh, it says, I know kids as young as 14 taking this shit. I have my feelings on steroids. They're not what everyone thinks.
The trend's about the worst.
I think who were just we were just talking to Gaines about it. I think steroids should be legal. I think you should be able to go into your doctor and talk to him so he can prescribe. People are going to abuse it no matter what. So if someone's going to abuse it, going to abuse it. But if you have someone that wants to take steroids, they should be able to go in there, get the proper steroid, right? That let the doctor test you and tell you, hey, your heart can't handle this. You know, bodybuilders don't drop dead. They're pro wrestlers because they have a mix of cocaine and painkillers and steroids. It is not the fucking steroids that kill people. I'm not saying they can't, but Arnold and all them, they lived a long time. You know, Franco Columbo, he drowned. He didn't die of steroids. And that guy used to carry like refrigerators on his back and shit. But some of these guys are monsters today. They're out of control. There's no doubt about it. I hate the look of most of the new pro bodybuilders when I see them. Oh, there's no symmetry to them.
Well, that's why the classic physique category came about. It's the old Arnold Schwarzenegger era look, and that's become the most popular division in bodybuilding now.
It should be.
Yeah,
I mean, Arnold had small legs for the time. Well, Arnold had small legs for what is now, but for the time, they were good. Yeah,
now it's back to the thin waist, V taper like Arnold used to have, and that era, not just Arnold, but those guys, 70s, 80s, and instead of the boxier look that you see with the open bodybuilders that just put on as much muscle as they can.
It's funny because I now look at Dorian Yates and I'm like, he's not even that big compared to the guys.
No. He was the original mass monster.
Yeah. And I look back at Ronnie Coleman. When Ronnie Coleman was winning the Arnold Classic, he looked really good.
Yeah, he had a small waist. Yeah, it wasn't until he, his stomach blew up and, his last year was just terrible.
Yeah, I didn't like him as Mr. Olympia. I didn't like his look. I thought Sean Ray always looked way better. And even like Jay Cutler.
Sean Ray would agree with you.
I know.
Yes, because he can't keep his mouth shut. Yeah.
So would Flex Wheeler, who unfortunately another issue.
Hey, Flex was from Fresno.
I do Flex and Sean Ray. They were to me that's where it should have hit. Like that's how it should have been. But now you're seeing these guys are just fucking monsters, man. Woody says steroids just make you a member of the itty bitty weenie committee. That is not true.
That's not true.
They make your ball shrink.
That's right.
That's
right.
Not
that
your
makes
schlong.
Everything else seem bigger. Yep.
Yes, not your schlong, but it does make your ball shrink.
Right.
That is a total myth.
Yeah. And to some people that's important too, but
yeah, but it's a muscle, and that's what steroids help enlarge, right?
You'd be amazed. Not that I know. I don't know.
All right. So anyway, you're working out, going to all these different. You're not working out for anything at this point, are you? You're just
no. I wasn't. I stopped all sports. Okay. I was just working. Yeah.
So you're working your jobs. So when you get done with Carl's Jr.,
I went into a roofing supply company.
Okay.
And I was working outside every day. So I was out in the yard, as they call it, loading trucks, either by hand or with forklift, or loading up customers with roofing supplies and drywall supplies. So I was physically active all day.
And see, this is what, going back to the gym thing, this is when I hear people that are personal trainers or athletes or bodybuilders that are getting paid that are like, hey, you know what? You got to make sacrifices. I understand. But I worked all day. I'm physical. I got to come home, spend time with my kids, or do other things. There's something I have to cut out. And again, it's not an excuse. It's a reason. Like, hey, you know what?
No, I was there. I was there. Yeah. I stopped because of
that. Rudy Gerson says, I'm middle-aged, shrinking balls I could use.
That's great.
Dreadnought K6 says most of those top tier bodybuilders are dead or cripples by the time they are 52. Bullshit.
Dorian still looks fantastic right now.
I'm sorry.
Now, he looks like he's better than ever.
You're talking about a small minority. That is completely wrong.
Ronnie is crippled, but that's his own doing. That was the way he worked out. He was dumb about his working out. And the ones that have had heart attacks and stuff, there very few of them have. And that's directly, towards not just steroid use, but like different type of cutters that they use, weight cutters. It gets dangerous,
Yeah, but, a minority.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Look it up.
Yeah, like it's not that many. I mean, it don't. I guess if you start going into like every single person, yes, but no, dude. Like when you start talking about wrestlers, yeah, you're talking about they're concocting so much shit, But
steroids is one problem that they have.
Yeah,
their heart is going crazy because of steroids plus other things.
Yeah, and again, I'm not telling people to go out and do steroids or anything, but I am saying like when they start talking about that, you start looking at it and it's like it's not wrestlers, yes, and people will consider them bodybuilders. Some of these professional football players, they have CTE, completely different. But other than Ronnie Coleman and Flex Wheeler, who else right now that was top notch is suffering?
There's been some that have died.
There have been.
Some young guys, but that's because of the types of stuff that they're using. Their hearts are going crazy, and they're having heart attacks at real young ages. And I'm not going to get into all the steroids they're using, but there's specific ones that they've abused, and it's not the stuff that the old guys used to do. The old guys didn't take as much, and most of them are still alive. Frank Zane is still alive.
Yeah, Mike Metzer. How long ago? He didn't die. He died 10 years ago, but he was in there
that long ago. Tom Platz, a lot of the old guys are still around. I mean, Lou Ferrigno's at every con.
Yeah. Afflicted Studios is saying, is this the right channel? I think I tuned into a punk with weights. Hey, well, this is about our guest.
Welcome.
And again, we both worked out. Obviously, he still works out way more than I do. So we just talked.
Probably about the same.
I doubt it. I wish I worked out more. I guess I don't. That's not true. I actually could if I wanted to. But I got to get back up there. I got to get those arms up there before. They don't have to be ripped. I said bigger. That's all I said.
Oh they might measure more. Yeah.
Is that muscle?
Hey, we'll do a BMI test. How about that?
I don't have any fat here, man. Yeah, I've never had peaks.
Oh, I didn't even show you.
I saw that in a. Okay, you're saying no joint and ligament issues, huh?
That's totally different. That's from working out, though. That's not from steroids. Yeah.
Your joints and ligaments do not get stronger whether you're on steroids or not. Right? I mean,
that's not dropping dead, though.
That's
injuries are part of working out, no matter if you're a runner or bodybuilder.
Exactly. And again, I'm not trying to have an argument about it.
No,
I don't like the
absolutely
false narrative that steroids is what kills people, and they start looking at all these professional wrestlers. That you have to look at what they're putting in their bodies, and it's not just steroids. And again, you can get bad steroids. Yes, I fully agree with that. But you can eat bad food and fucking die from it too. You're gonna die from something, right?
Right.
We're all going to die, like I said earlier. So, at the same time, Toys is jumping in here. Again, I'm just saying I don't like the false narrative. And again, I've never done a drug in my life. So if anyone should be like, yeah, dude, these fucking steroids are killing people, it would be me.
Right.
It's just a false narrative. And again, right is right and wrong is wrong. again, yes, people do die.
Yeah. And there have been deaths, that are bodybuilders that are due to steroid.
Yeah.
For sure. There's been some young guys having heart attacks. That's a new phenomenon, and there hasn't been that many. And I'm not saying, keep taking steroids, everybody. I'm saying, it's not as bad as people think it is.
This might be more correct. Pumpkin GI Bro is Franco and Arnold. Height wise,
I'm not as tall as Arnold, but
I'm like to say
Franco. You might be close to Franco.
Franco was at 5'4", right?
Yeah. He was the junior Olympia, right? Wasn't that what his category was? I think.
And he was way stronger than Arnold. Arnold talks like he was way stronger.
That guy, because he had a smaller body, it's easier to show more muscle. So he had rounder muscle bellies than Arnold, and I think he looked better, but he never won. He won Mr. Olympia, I think, a year that
he won twice.
Arnold was out. Well, he won Junior Olympia, and then if you watch Pumping Iron, he won Junior Olympia. I think he was called Junior. It might be.
They had a lightweight and a
lightweight,
heavy, and then they competed against each other.
And then it would be an overall competing against each other, and then he always lost to Arnold because politics. But sorry. But now there's they brought that category back, kind of. It's called the 212. So if you can't be over 212 pounds. So it's kind of the same category that Franco used to be in.
212 is huge.
They're jacked. They're super. Yeah. Until you stand next to them, and then you're like, oh, you're a short guy, but they're thick.
I recently saw a picture or the video of Triple H on stage with Jay Cutler. And Jay Cutler, I think is a monster.
Yeah,
he is muscular. But then you see how short
he's huge.
You see how short he is.
He is short.
Like Triple H is looking down at him, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, dude!" But like Lee Priest, same height as me. That guy.
Most pro bodybuilders are short. And Lee Priest, there wasn't a 212 when Lee Priest was competing.
No,
so he had to compete against the bigger guys where they could put on more muscle and weigh more, but because they had a few more inches on them. But the smaller guys, they look bigger because it's easier to show muscle.
I agree to a point.
Well, it's you're talking about a stretched out body. It's harder to show the same amount of muscle. You might
show. Yes, I've always argued the whole strength. I've always argued the whole strength thing because people are like, you're shorter, so it's easier for you to put up heavy weight. And I still have to go through the same amount of motions. I know.
Do you though? Do you? You do for your body type.
Yeah, I have to hit
your
all
arm
the
is fully stretched out, but if I've got longer arms, my arm has to travel farther than yours.
That's your fucking problem, dude.
I'm just stating a fact.
I have to stretch like this every time I want to reach the top shelf, and sometimes I still can't.
Right.
Anyway, we'll calm down on the bodybuilding and lifting weights for a bit.
Okay, all right.
I don't care. Shit, dude. I could talk about this all fucking day. I don't think most of the people care. They're all in here fucking jumping.
They're talking to each other anyway. They're probably talking about the latest G.I. Joe news.
No, actually, they're talking about. We had Tony bringing up Ed Corney, Pose Master, Clint Jorgensen saying steroids shield you from injuries and breakdowns in your body that you don't realize is occurring. Yep, that's why baseball players took it. Eventually, they're going to realize HGH is such performance enhancers are good in moderate. Yeah, dude, believe me. Dude, why do you think Sylvester Stallone takes HGH? So
he still looks great. How old is he? 70 years old? I don't even know how old he is now.
He's still ripped.
Yeah.
Arnold is the one that looks weird now.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, well, he went vegan for a little while, and he really disappointed everyone.
It's like he has no shoulders anymore.
No,
but he still has these really big fucking arms.
Yeah,
with these perfect peaks, And I was telling my son, he was talking about it. because we were talking, he was talking about arms and working out. And I'm like, I've never had big, like my arms do not peak. I have elongated muscle.
Right.
If you're a wrestling fan, I have like the muscle like Shawn Michaels. Mine don't peak. I don't have the ball. I don't have the big mountain type like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I've got one that kind of does and one that doesn't.
Yeah. So mine have
strange.
Yeah, mine have always been elongated. So I was telling Andrew, I'm like, mine have always been elongated, but they grow, right? Because you get your tricep that grows, and when I look, like when I read that an average adult male, that their arm is anywhere from like 13 to 14, that's an average 13 to 14. I was like, that's fucking small.
Yeah. And you got to figure the average adult, how much body fat does that average adult have?
Yeah.
And that's on their arms. Yeah. So, yeah.
And how tall they are.
Right.
And it's like, dude, Arnold isn't a dude. I mean, the guy's had heart surgery. The guy still works out. His body just changed. It just looks weird.
He's an icon, and he always will be. He gives a lot to the sport now with the Arnold Classic, so I'm not going to take anything away from him. He was, going vegan was a bit of a letdown.
He's always
that's my opinion, though. So
he's always giving back.
Yeah.
He took a lot from it.
And Arnold Classic, he was giving away. He's trying to give away the most money ever, more than Olympia. And he even said he had a deal with the creator of the Olympia, and that he would never offer more money. And then last year he said the deal's over. So he wants to give out more money for the Arnold Classic than the Mr. Olympia is giving out. That's his goal.
Well, he can do it.
He can do it.
I mean, he clearly raised the funds. Anyway, okay. Yeah. So you go into this. You weren't roofing, but you said you were doing.
No. I was loading roofs. I was loading material on trucks, and so I'm outside. And roofing season is summertime. Building is summertime, so I'm out 100+ degree weather every day. So just getting beaten down every single day. And so I wasn't working out at all.
All right.
Yeah, well, he apologized for that. I will say that he did apologize for that. But that's
are you talking about politics?
Well, that was specifically about COVID shot. That was a vaccination thing.
Okay, I'm talking about lifting weights. I don't.
Yeah, no, that's what that was.
I don't give a shit about politics. All right, they're all stupid.
For sure.
I thought you meant as in lifting weights because he got small.
No.
I'm not approaching that, Eric. You already know this one. All right. So how long are you doing that for?
I was there about 6 years, seven years. I was there 7 years, but about 4 years in, I got tired of being outside and getting beat down every day. So I started working in the office on Saturdays. We'd be open half a day on Saturday. Okay. So I started sitting in there because I noticed the manager's there. So I'd come in on my days off and sit in there and tell him, hey, I just want to learn how everything's done. And so I learned how to do everything. And then they brought me into the office. So I was able to be a salesman on the floor instead of being outside getting beat up.
Okay, so you transitioned from a grunt worker, which is absolutely nothing wrong with because work is work, to a salesman.
Right.
And around what year is this?
97, 98, around there.
So that would have been right around the time you started collecting toys.
Yeah, it was about that time. Yep.
So Star Wars comes along. So you're working like an actual job, right? You're a full-time employee. What makes you decide to start picking up the Star Wars toys?
I think all the hype with episode 1 coming out.
Okay.
I bought into it and, for good or bad.
I like episode 1.
I was psyched. Yeah. We stood in line for 7 hours to see the first movie and saw it again the next day. So, yeah.
We saw 3 times opening day.
Oh, That's pretty good.
We went first showing that morning, then right after that, and then we had to come back like 6 hours later and it sounds like a great idea. So after that second showing, and you were like, "This was dumb. We're never doing this again." Okay, again, you're a bunch of buddies are doing this, right? But man,
yeah, we had a group. We had a big group with us.
Yeah, that third showing, we were done because we stayed up all night the night before for the most part, and we were like, okay, episode 2, only 2 showings.
Right.
Dreadnought is asking, where do you live at?
Fresno, California, Central California.
Yeah. We did talk about that all at the beginning of the show. And again, I know people jump in throughout the show. So please don't take offense when I say we talked about it at the beginning. All right. So you get into the episode 1 figures. Now, did this lead into collecting, or is this just kind of?
Well, it did for a little while. It led into my wedding, and then my wedding, blew up everything. So any idea I had of what my life was going to be was over. And so it stopped. But up until that point, I started getting into wholesale buying and selling.
No, and you're
good, Dreadnought.
No, John, that's what I'm saying. Like I know people bounce in and out, and that's what I'm saying. I don't apologize ever. I didn't want it to come off like that. That's what I'm saying. Like some people take it like too serious, and I'm like, no. We talked about it earlier. Again, not saying there's a problem with it, because if anyone's giving me some of their time to watch me, then I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And to listen to my nonsense. So that's cool. But yeah, I started hunting out the episode 1 toys, and then I got a license to start buying wholesale toys.
I'm crying.
All right. But so I was buying some early McFarlane stuff. It may have been Todd Toys at the time. I don't remember. But it was the monster stuff. Okay. I still got cases in my garage that are unopened.
All right.
Of the first series, or maybe it was the second series of those.
So you said this is leading up to your wedding. So when did you meet your soon-to-be wife?
In 1990.
Have you been dating that whole time?
Yeah.
Or?
We've been living together since 94.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I did.
And we've been dating since 90.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And she's still here, so.
Damn. She must be a good woman. Or just very tolerable.
Well, yeah, I'm lucky I got her. Yeah. I'm
lucky. All right. Because usually we get into that, but you said leading into your wedding, so you guys have you've been together the whole time.
Hold on. Wow. Hey, can I get a break?
Yes, you can.
All right.
So here's a quick message from our Moss Man.
Oh, Moss Man.
Oh, hey guys. So Lawrence, he had to step away for a little bit. He's got a case of the grumble dust. So he asked me to kind of watch over a stream. He put me in charge of y'all. He said to me, "Oh, Moss Man, I have a case of the grumble dust, and I need you to watch myself for a little bit so nobody leaves and finds out that there's more interesting things to watch on YouTube. And also, I hate Ohio." So I was like, oh, dang, so now I have to come up with a topic for my very own show. And I was like, oh, what about talking about your favorite toy stores? So my favorite toy store is hellodope.toys.com. So they used to have this really bad website. It used to look real scammy. Like if I gave them money, they were going to go spend it on like blow and hookers. But now their website is really nice. And like I can just go in and do like 1-2 click. And then my order's placed. And they ship super fast, guys. They ship everything in 1 business day. So, like, I get all my toys first. So when I'm out there on the playground and all my friends are like, oh, dang, Moss Man, where'd you get that action figure? I still have to wait 17 months for mine. And I'm just like, well, I went to hellodope.toys.com and I just pushed the buttons and then they shipped it out to me. And the packaging is so nice, guys. Like, I opened up the box. I thought, oh, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this kind of packaging. It's so nice. But then my trash can gets full because of all the packing stuff. And I was just like, oh dang, I just changed the trash. But now I gotta change the trash again. Oh, you're right, Matthew Matson. You can use the code APWT at HelloDopeToys.com and save 10% on your order. So how that works is, so you're going to save 10%, and then a Punk with Toys, he has to pay that 10% that y'all save. So if you don't like Lawrence, you can just go to HelloDopeToys.com and just buy a bunch of stuff and rack up his bill. So then, like, at the end of the month, they're like, Hello Dope Toys is like, oh, Lawrence, you owe us $1 million because of all the 10% codes that everybody used. And yeah, that's how that works. Okay, guys, so it looks like it's time for me to go now. So make sure you go to HelloDopeToys.com and like and subscribe, and then in the comments put what your favorite toy store is. But if it's not HelloDopeToys.com, I'm probably just going to delete it, okay? So, all right, guys, bye!
Beer doing business says, I think Mossman is on steroids and possibly fertilizer. Yeah. And Dreadnought K6 does not like Mossman. As he said it a couple times. Well, I'm hoping to get another Mossman commercial soon too. So.
Oh, nice.
And hopefully, what's the new guy? What's the new guy, Ed? I know you're there. Dopey. Is it Dopey?
Dopey, yeah, it's Dopey. That was the best. That was the best.
I love that one.
No,
you're not part of this
one. Yeah.
You're not part of this. Okay. I can't believe Ed made that. That is, I can't believe
hilarious.
Ed made that.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. All right. So quickly with your wife. So you met your wife, obviously. Was it right when you went to high school? No,
right after high school.
Well, you graduated. I was going to high school in 90.
No, I hired her at Taco Bell.
Oh.
Yeah, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Did we talk about this already?
Yeah, we did in chat one time, I think. Yeah.
Because I'm like, there was someone else that met their wife.
We were talking through chat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, long time ago, but yeah.
I'm like, how many other stories like this could there be? But then again, I had two suicide talks in the same, like 2 weeks apart from each other.
Yeah, that's why.
They were very similar.
Yeah.
Tony, your opinion sucks. All right.
Oh, Tony, come on, man.
All right. So you hired it at Taco Bell, and you guys have been together since then. So that is
right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously she saw when you were kind of picking up some toys for sure.
She knew before, like when I was reading comic books and stuff. So
okay. So she's never had an issue with you.
No.
That. Okay.
If she did, she wouldn't be around.
Yeah,
well, it wouldn't have worked out because
not for that long.
Yeah.
And Jay Gonzo jumping in here. All right, so you said episode 1 comes and you started collecting, but you said you became a wholesaler.
I was buying wholesale. Yeah.
Okay.
The idea to resell, and I was at the time I had an eBay business selling other stuff.
Okay.
So
like steroids.
No. No. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Well, I mean, there probably is. But,
I think you can't sell drugs on eBay. Like,
it was like household stuff. It was just not.
I do not need the DEA smashing through my window during a live stream.
No, it was just regular knickknacks and stuff that I was able to pick up wholesale and then bump up on eBay. This is the early days of eBay.
Now was
early. This is like when you got to send a check.
Now, were any of this due to when you got into sales, like figuring it out?
No, just always looking for something to do, some hustle, something on the side to make more money.
So you were just able to figure out a way to get a wholesaler's license, or
right?
Oh, that's actually
I don't even remember. I ran across somebody that was able to get it for me. And then I was able to start purchasing some toy stuff, and it was limited things, but one of them was McFarlane. Like I said, it could have been I don't know the history of McFarlane, but it could have been before it was even McFarlane Toys.
Well, Todd Toys was early on. I know that.
I do have some Spawn that was Todd Toys.
Yeah,
but I don't remember. By the time he got into Monsters, I think it was yeah, at that point.
I forget the reason why he lost the rights to Todd Toys. It had something to do with the name, literally Todd. Which again,
I didn't know that's why he changed it. I mean, I thought it was a smart choice, but
yeah, it actually made sense, to be honest. But
yeah,
if I remember correctly, and I'm sure someone in the comments will tell me, it had something to do with I think his name, and there was another Todd or there was another like Todd Toys or something.
Oh yeah,
but it wasn't his name or anything.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So you said that you started collecting until your wedding, or there was
right about there. I did a little bit after that, but by the time I had my first son in 2002, we got married in 2001. We had my son in 2002. I was done with eBay and all that stuff because I was dealing with him. So
yeah,
raising a kid is not easy.
I mean, eBay, even now, it's a full-time job when you're doing it.
It's a full-time job because I mean, back then
you had to wait for
it was pre-PayPal.
Yep.
And then just dealing with payments and people not paying, and then shipping and all that stuff. And then I'm like, I'm losing money on shipping because there was no shipping calculator or anything like that back then. So it was a totally different thing. But yeah,
either that or people made their money back up on the shipping, which I think.
They still do it. Yeah, they still do it. Yeah, they're charging $50 to ship something that's a toy.
But that was crazy because you're actually sending someone a check. And then you're just hoping that they actually ship the stuff out there. Yeah. When you look back at early eBay, it's like, I can't even believe it ever worked. Like, why would anyone ever be like, this is a great idea? Yeah, I'll get.
Well, luckily PayPal did come along pretty early. And that really changed the game. But it was really weird early on. And then trying to learn HTML just to post something was wild. So I'm like learning how to code to make my post look okay.
Yeah, because you could just put up a blank picture before.
Yeah.
They don't let you do
you didn't have to show the item. Yeah.
You just had a description of what it was.
And then there was a lot of things of like, it would be a picture of an item, and then you would pay the money and then receive the picture.
Oh,
yeah, that happened a lot. Yeah.
Oh man, I couldn't even imagine being that person. I couldn't even. But again, I'm the same person. I don't understand how people can sit behind. And again, if you work, good for you. But how you can be a telemarketer and sit here and blow up my phone every fucking day. Not this is a true story, but every single day I'm getting stuff. Hey, we want to talk about your mortgage. Hey, you only have a limited time to refinance. I wasn't trying to. Hey, we're looking to buy your house. You were interested. No, I wasn't. So I don't know how that thing got stuck there, but man.
Yeah.
Oh, whoever got my phone number and sold it, I'd like to beat them. Because it's bad right now.
It's bad. I mean, it was nice when cellular phones didn't get any spam calls.
Yeah. Well, mine just goes right to voicemail.
Oh, so I have a setup like that too.
Yep, it goes right to voicemail, but it still keeps coming over. And dude, they call and then they text and then the voicemail, and I'm just constantly deleting voicemails. Like you can't block enough numbers. You just can't.
No.
There's not enough numbers to block. Ed here says, imagine these guys now that cry about it taking more than 2 days to ship something back then. Oh, man.
Used to be 6 to 8 weeks or whatever when you ordered anything. And you were happy. Like, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But then again, you didn't have the internet to yell at them about, so.
You think your mail-away G.I. Joe figure came right away?
I was watching the full force, and Chris and Pat were talking about that, and Pat was like, "Yeah, I was really bad." He goes, "I'd be good for about a week," and then it was like, "Dad, when's it coming? Dad, when's it coming?" Yes. And I don't even think it took 6 to 8 weeks. It usually
No,
took
I never did. That was like the outside, timeline.
And you're literally taking like flag points and a dollar check, or even $1 in general, just a regular dollar, and sending it in.
Yeah.
Right. And then just hoping that it comes back. I bet if you just send in your flag points, they probably ship the shit out.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But no one's going to take that chance.
No.
At those precious little flag points.
No.
All right. So what happened leading up to your wedding? Was it just the financing?
Yeah. It was money. Yeah.
It wasn't anything.
No.
Nothing.
It was stress of the wedding and working and everything else that.
Please
process. Right. Yeah.
What are you handling exactly?
Yeah. Now you order something from Amazon and you look out the window to see if it's there yet.
Oh, I know. Or when you see the Amazon truck and then you're mad that you didn't order anything.
Yeah.
Why are you stopping here?
Yeah.
Why even order anything? So I guess. All right. So you get married. Sounds like you have a wonderful wedding because you had to quit buying toys. So obviously it was expensive.
Too expensive, yeah.
But hey, you know what? You've been together for so long. You better throw a good wedding. Your son comes along, and I wholeheartedly understand that. I had started skateboarding again a lot, and then Susan got pregnant, and it kind of just stopped. I didn't quit. I just kind of stopped because I thought it was wrong to just leave, get done with work and go skateboarding while she's sitting at home dealing with her daughter that I'm raising. And she's pregnant with my house spawn, right? I helped get in that position. Then he came along and, I'd rather spend time, right? Spend time with him. And then Olivia came along, and one thing just kind of leads to, it snowballs, right? And next thing I know, it's been 10 years since I rode my skateboard. And then she, then she decided to leave me, and I started skateboarding again. Good times.
One thing that I did. Let's go backwards a little bit. I was on my sales shop. I just want to touch on this so people hear this part because I think it's important. I was on my sales job, so I stopped working out while I was outside doing, loading roofs and stuff like that. But I was still in great shape because I was doing physical work all the time. Yeah. And I was in the heat and burning calories all day long. So I was eating whatever I wanted. Go to the sales job, still eating whatever I wanted. And then I'm sitting on my butt all day long. And there's 2 vending machines right in front of me. So I'm drinking 6 Pepsis, full Pepsis, plus candy all day long. Not working out anymore because I stopped doing that while I was outside. So I got into this habit of not, and then I gained a bunch of weight. And I think it's important for people to understand that, well, I wasn't working out all the way through my life, and I'm in good shape now because I've always been in good shape. I had this bad valley where I gained a ton of weight, and then I had to get my way out of that.
Yeah, because if you don't move.
Yeah, but did you find it? I went up to about 250.
Wow.
And then
how tall are you?
5'9".
So you're not tall.
No, I'm not that tall.
No. I think you're huge. I think you're super tall. All right, you're like Andre the Giant. But 250 is a lot.
250 was a lot of weight.
Let me ask.
Not working out.
But how much muscle did you retain though?
None. It's all gone. It was all gone.
Really? Because I have never lost. I've gained.
Well, some people naturally hold on to muscle, but if you're gonna lose it, If you're not,
Oh
if
yeah.
you're not moving, you're going to deteriorate. And when you're just gaining a ton of fat, and not moving, that's the most important thing. Like people ask me, I need to lose weight. What do I need to do? Move more, eat less. That's the easy answer, but I never do that. I always say, don't drink calories. Don't drink calories and go and walk around the block. Start doing that.
Yep.
And then work your way up, and then you'll start losing. But yeah, so I gained a bunch of weight, and then around 2010 is when I was just tired of it, and I wasn't happy, and then I worked it all off, and then I've been fit since. But yeah, I think that's an important part of my journey, that it wasn't easy. I did have a tough time. It wasn't for any other reason other than I got into this slump. I was come home, take care of the kids, work, and eat bad and not move.
I think the move. I know diet is huge. I still think that the movement is the biggest thing, because even if you're eating bad, if you're not working out, your body is deteriorating. Now you're not going to lose the weight, but Matthew says it all the time. Motion is lotion, right? All the time. If you're not doing, and I said this when I was a kid, I believe my body will break down when I stop being active.
Yeah.
And that's what you see from people, right? You see people just stop being active. And again, you don't have to be riding a skateboard or going to the gym. Like you say, take your dog out for a walk and take a long walk. It doesn't, don't just do around the block. Take a good long walk. Just always remember, however far you go, you have to walk that far back.
Yeah. And, I tell people, start off around the block, and then next week, try to do it twice, or go do 2 blocks, and then go farther and farther and farther. And then start taking one bad thing out of your diet. Not the whole thing. Don't change everything. Change it a little bit at a time until you're comfortable.
And that's what I always, when people say that, diets don't work, I'm like, it's not about diets. It's about your diet. Learn how to eat properly.
And I'm a nutritionist too. So what you have to do that I've found works for me and everybody I work with, but you got to find healthy foods that you like. And there are healthy foods that everybody likes. So don't say, oh, you have to eat broccoli every day. If you hate broccoli, don't eat broccoli. I don't like broccoli. I do eat broccoli, but I don't like it, but I can also tolerate it, and I do what I can tolerate. So, but for other people, there are tons of foods that they can eat. What did Matthew say again?
He said, I gained a lot of weight when I stopped competing, because he was doing martial arts. He does karate, if you didn't know that.
I do know. Yeah, Matthew's, isn't he a ninja? I thought he was a ninja.
Yes. Yeah. and he keeps his swords over on his right side, I believe.
Yeah.
So when I was competing, I was working out 68 hours a day. I used 12,000 calories. Then I pulled back. I gained fast. And Ed, this is
what happens because you're not changing your diet, and even if you do, you're not changing it enough.
Yeah, this is one that shocks me. Ed says I went from 325 to 205 just by walking, eating a little less, not anything different, but less. And I can't imagine you had over 300 pounds.
Dang, Ed, that's amazing. Like
you saw Ed,
that's incredible.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
And he's tall. How tall is he? He's like
6'1", I think.
Yeah. So that's incredible.
Yeah, and again, like there are people that have health issues that it prevents them from losing a lot of weight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but there's always something. There's something that you can tweak no matter what.
Yes, and again, calories in, calories out. If you're taking in less calories and going out, you're eventually going to lose weight.
Right.
It's simple math.
Yeah.
It doesn't, again, I might lose faster than you, and you may lose faster than me, just like people gain weight, gain muscle faster. But if you follow that, you take in less calories than you put out, you're eventually going to start losing.
Right. And it's not hard to burn some calories just walking.
No,
You know,
no,
even on a treadmill or whatever, like, yeah, you know, just for a little while, half hour.
It's science.
It is science. It is science.
All right. So you have your wedding, you gain weight.
Yep.
Now, what made you decide, like, at what point were you just like, I need to lose weight?
Well,
I'm interested in this.
Being an athlete most of my young life, I was in pretty good shape. Even when I was a little heavier, depending on what I was doing for football, you know, I needed to be heavier for the positions that I was at. I was doing more powerlifting stuff than you know, watching my weight and stuff. I was trying to put on weight, but I just hated it. You know, I hated not being active, and I'm really competitive. So I needed an outlet, and I really need a goal to work towards even now. So I've got a goal right now. So once I hit that, then it's going to be the next goal, and I'm going to be working towards that. So
Dreadnought here says, I drink 2 liters of soda a day. That's pop. Still have a 30-inch waist and haven't weighed over 185 in my life. And that's when I was lifting regularly. 5'10", 170-ish, mid-40s. I smoke cigs and weed. He says, but I intermediately fast. Okay, so even though some people will gain weight, and again, I'm not a nutritionist, some people just have a metabolism that they'll never fucking gain weight.
Yeah, I know guys like that, and then they have a hard time putting on muscle too.
That's what my son has been asking me, because he's a rail, right? He's taller than me. He's about 5'6" now, 5'6", maybe even 5'7". I think he just hit 115 pounds. He's trying to work out. He's weak because he's still learning all this stuff. And I go, hey, I was maybe $110. Now I was 5'3", 5'4". But I had muscles in my legs because I was skateboarding. But when I started working out, the guy that I started going to the gym with, he was going all the time. So I was like regularly working out. And yes, muscle weighs more than fat. So when you put on a little bit of muscle, you gain a little bit more weight than
right.
You have to put on a lot of fat, and that's why, you know. But I mean, I hit 115, then you hit 120 and 125. It took me forever to get to like 130, 135, but then it just kept going up. It just kept going. Then the weight get really easy to put on. All right.
Yeah. No, it's real easy for me too.
Yeah.
So I could put on weight easy. But you know, for your son, I would say he's got to put in the protein.
Don't even get me started. I hear all about it.
I mean, he's got to be doing like 1.25 grams per pound of body weight, at least. I would say 1.5.
I don't.
And then a ton of carbs, and just keep going. But it's got to be clean stuff. It's got to be clean. White rice.
He's been eating cleaner and eating protein shakes and yogurts, and you know, but he's eating. He's trying
lean meats. You know,
that's one thing he doesn't. Now, as for this intermediately fast, okay, I started fasting before Joe Fast. I did not do it to lose weight. That became a byproduct. But I can tell you, I started feeling so much better once I started fasting. When I started watching what fasting does for your body, and again, losing weight was just byproduct. But the way that it attacks the dead cells, gets rid of stuff, I started feeling so much better.
It's a good tool. Yeah.
And it's not for everyone.
No.
But I'll tell you what. The first time you do a 24-hour fast and you realize that once you get past that, what they call grelling and your stomach, you know, feeling hungry, once you get past it, you're fine.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants the intermediate fast, but they're like, I just can't do it. What worked for me was watching all the videos on YouTube about a 24-hour or 48-hour fast. And once you start getting hungry, click on one of those videos and see where you're at. And you're like, oh man, if I'm at this point, just another hour or two, then I'm into this stage. You know what? I can do that. And then you stop feeling hungry.
Yeah.
And man, I feel so much better. Even now, like I'm kind of doing it right now, in and out. Before Joe Fest, I was crazy. And I just fell into it. And Pop Blender jumping in here saying, yeah, bro. He could have crushed some noggins at Joe Fest last year. Yeah. But he was able to put those pythons away for the weekend. No, the pythons were never put away. They were always out. All right. So your son comes along. Now you said you also have a daughter, right?
Yeah, I've got a daughter. She was born in 2005. Yeah.
Okay. So they're roughly around the same. I mean.
Yeah, he's 22 and they're both in college, and she's 19. She goes to UC Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at what point do you start getting back into collecting?
Not until, I mean, a little bit here and there, because I was always collecting comic books. So I was always going to the comic book shop or whatever. So I'd pick up things here and there, but collecting, like getting every bit of the line or anything like that, or seeking things out, I wasn't doing that until last year.
Okay. So you're still relatively new
March,
to what we're doing. Joe Fest and everything like that.
Yeah.
Because that was my first Joe Fest too.
Well, yeah. March, I was prepping for a show, and I was dieting, and my mind was just mush. I was like on no carbs, and I needed an outlet, and I needed a hobby to focus my mind on, because it was all I was doing was on YouTube looking at fitness videos, like playlists for hours. So
God, you're bad. But as a lifestyle, it's like I could watch skateboarding all day long.
Right. Yeah. So I was, normally I'm fine. But it was consuming my every thought. And and I was on no carbs, working out more than I normally do, eating less than I normally do, and stressing out about a show that I had to do. And I just needed something. So I think I picked up Mutt Junkyard. I think that was the first thing I got, because I had saw it on Instagram.
Man, that is late in the line.
Yeah, it was actually, I think, what pushed it over the edge. I saw Mutt Junkyard. I was like, oh, that's an articulated dog. That's amazing. And Mutt Junkyard was one of my favorite, one of my favorite characters from the toys and the everything, cartoons, comic books, the whole thing. So I really liked it, didn't pull the trigger. And then I saw the Vamp, and the Vamp came out, and I was like, I saw the photography for it. And I thought it was incredible. And I thought, oh, I could just make a display. I'll just get the Vamp and a couple things, and I'll just make one little diorama, and that'll be my, my little hobby that I do for a little while. Yeah. 150 figures later, and I got the Vamp. The Vamp is right there, but yeah. It's a little.
And if you're coming in that late and you're trying to get the other figures, you're
all the early.
You're getting a lot of the figures cheap, but some of the figures you're going to be paying.
I spent so much at Joe Fest.
Do you have all the figures now?
No. I didn't. I'm not a completionist like you.
Okay.
So I only get the ones I want, but I've got all the ones I want, like all the old stuff that I wanted that was earlier in the line, like Duke, like all the Dukes.
So you have the two color variants.
Yes, I got the field. The field variant, is superior to the red, but whatever.
I agree with you. but I didn't buy it because at that point I'm like, dude, I'm not going to spend $25 on a little color variant. It's not different than the other one. I'm not
right. It's the same.
I'm not going to spend another $20, $25 on another figure that's the exact same.
Right.
And then I look at all the army builders that I have, and then the 2 beach heads that I have, and then I'm like, yep, I'm an idiot.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
I end up spending a lot of money on stuff. So I'm like, I should have just bought those just because. But I also don't feel like I'm missing anything because they're not. It's just a field variant, right?
Right. No, it's the same thing. So, and the color's not that far off. You know, it's just a couple touch-ups, but
I do agree the field variants, they all look better.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Scarlet looked better, Duke looked better, and Roadblock looked better. Snake Eyes, I mean, seriously, you got rid of the little red thing. I wasn't concerned.
Right.
Destro, they got rid of the circle on his head.
I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a circle on the original one that I never even noticed. So it was pointed out. I guess people were upset about it.
Oh, no. Well, I don't go into Facebook. I don't hear all the complaints.
Oh, yeah. Well,
no. I try to stay out of there.
And there's I think a blue and a green-eyed version of Beachhead. Doesn't matter to me.
Oh, really?
There's a different colored collar on the Cobra Trooper. One's black, one's like a dark blue.
And those were all official field variants?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the field variants were technically the Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, Duke, Roadblock, Destro, and Scarlet. I don't think the other ones were actually field variants. They were just paint changes. Those ones were called the field variants, and they have a sticker that's over the back of it. So you know the field variant.
Yeah, I've got a few of them that have that.
And those were done because of the whining about it. People whined about a stupid little red dot that I didn't even notice on Snake Eyes.
I didn't even hate the Duke with the red on the gloves and stuff. I just thought that's a weird choice, but I thought the figure was great until the retro. You know, the retro is better. Yeah.
I had planned on retiring the original Duke once the retro came out. And then when I did the review, I was just like, this is a really good figure.
Yeah.
So he stays in my, my line.
I think the
doesn't have the
sculpt
Nerf
is
gun.
Good. It's just a lot different.
Yeah. Scarlet, she got put away because just the articulation is bad.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't do anything with it.
No.
Hold on. Yeah. I'm not going to, I wasn't going to get into all the whole field variant. I also never thought I'd be where I'm at now, which is a whole other issue.
Yeah. It's a whole problem. Yeah.
You know,
you have a problem.
I do.
Yeah.
And I don't lie about it. I don't say that I don't have a problem.
Well, I blame you for getting me into it because you're one of the first YouTubers that I watched. Yep. And so I started watching your reviews and I'm like, I'm thinking about that one. And then I would watch you. And then every time I watch your video, I would buy it. Every time.
What if I told you you're not the first person to say that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. But you also helped me, when I needed an outlet to think about different things other than fitness, that was driving me crazy.
Well, I mean, I never thought I looked that bad. I thought like you could have really loose been like, hey, that guy looks like he's in decent shape reviewing the figures. Yeah,
that's why I was watching.
There is one guy. He's on Instagram. I was following him. Big dude. I can't even think of his name.
There's a painter guy that does like Warhammer stuff.
No,
he's like a power lifter.
No, this guy did G.I. Joe, and he always had he's bigger than you. Like you can tell he's probably a steroid guy or and PED guy, whatever you want to call it. I don't give a shit. And like we don't see that very often in the community.
No, you don't.
Yeah, no, I've heard that a few times, but I've also heard people say, "Wow, thank you, you saved me from getting that." And then I hear people that, they try and be funny and they're like, "Oh God, I didn't waste my money on that." I'm like, well, that's kind of the idea. But I also am able to. I've said it before. I don't hide. I'm pretty much able to fund my whole toy collection through this YouTube journey. The Amazon affiliates, entertainment,
Right.
stuff like that. I'm able to fund the stuff.
Yeah.
Everything that goes into it just goes right back into toy collecting. So I'm able to buy stuff that I normally wouldn't, that I'm able to review, that sometimes allows people to make their decision. And I don't want to influence anyone to buy something or not to buy something by what I say. But if I can give them an idea of like, hey, this figure here, this is what I think of it. This is what it does. I'm not telling you should buy it. Or sometimes I'll say you should go buy it. But you know what I mean? It's like, if I've given you enough knowledge to make your decision, awesome. If your decision is to go buy it and then you're mad at me because you spent more money, well, that's on you.
Yeah, right. But you're buying everything, so it's like
I don't buy everything. I buy everything G.I.
No,
Joe.
you buy the whole line though. Like you're not
the
gonna
whole
miss
G.I.
a
Joe
figure.
line.
Yeah, you're not gonna miss a figure.
Not until I do.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know it sounds stupid, but it's like I'm a completionist till I'm not. And maybe if I finally miss a figure, then maybe I'll be like, I won't get that. But again, I know that almost any G.I. Joe that I buy, any classified that I buy, I'm probably going to, other than maybe the vehicles, I'm probably going to make at least 50% up on the figure. So if a figure's $25, I'm probably going to make $15 on it. So it knocks it down to $10. And then every now and then you have a figure that makes you $35. So it just kind of offsets it.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. And it took me a while because obviously when you're first starting it, I collect because I love it. It has nothing to do with the money. Clearly, it's like I could find something else on YouTube that would make me money, right? A lot of people do content where they don't have to buy stuff. That's all profit. That all goes into their pocket. I'm not doing that.
Right. Yeah.
But it allows me to stay in this thing that I really love doing. And I'm bad because I look at these figures and they're just so awesome. And it's not just G.I. Joe. It's
right. It's Valerse, and yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Super 7.
Okay. You got me. All right. So before we get fully into like collecting and everything, you talked about you gained the weight and then you lost the weight. But you also said something about that you're a nutritionist. So have you switched your careers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just doing fitness now.
Okay, well, hold on. I don't want you to see my Arnold Palmer.
No, yeah. At least
what?
There's water in it, right?
There's something in it.
Yeah.
I have my water right here.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'll take a drink for you.
Okay.
And yes, people, if you don't drink a lot of water, when you start, you will piss all day. It'll stop.
I do all day. And yeah.
But then once you start drinking,
I drink water, 1.5 gallons of water every day. So
yeah, but once you start drinking water all the time, your body will start to absorb it properly.
Right.
But when you start, just be prepared to wake up like 4 times at night. Don't plan long drives that you can't stop at take a piss.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay, so when did you transition from what you were doing in sales to what are you doing now?
I have fitness clients.
Okay.
And I work with them on whatever their goal is. So whether it's to lose weight, look better, and then I also do nutrition if they need nutrition guidance too. So I'm hands-on, so I'll go to the gym with them or whatever and work with them and put together a plan. So
Okay.
it could be functional fitness, it could be strength training, it could be running, it could be whatever they want to do. They want to do their first 5K. Let's get you healthy so you can do it. or just lose some weight, you know.
Okay. And
But-
when did you start this? Like how long?
It's been about 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was doing CrossFit, I really got into training a lot. So I was doing CrossFit and bodybuilding at the same time. So, which is not ideal because it's tough because I love CrossFit. I love what CrossFit does for people. It's a good program for people that don't know what they're doing, and they could just go into a class, and the hardest thing they have to do is open that door to walk in. They do whatever they're told, and then they leave. As long as you have good coaching and you're doing things the right way, you're fine. But to add on to that strength training on top of that is tough because you never know what your CrossFit workout's going to be. So you're working the same muscles, and you don't want to be working chest twice, you know, in the same day and end up pulling something.
Yeah.
So that became tough.
So Allison is asking, what is your nutritional philosophy?
That's a good question. I don't have a nutritional, like if you're asking me calories in, calories out, that's just basic, but I believe in carbs. Like
I believe they're there. Believe me, they're real.
Well, I don't believe in the nonsense of, you know, whether it's if it fits your macros. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in, you know, carnivore. They all work until they don't, and then you're not getting anything out of it. So there's a reason why your body needs carbs, whether you want to be keto or not. So I've done keto. I was carnivore for over a year. If it fits your macros, it's just 20-year-olds wanting to eat crap. They want to eat ice cream. No, well, for personally, I'm eating chicken, broccoli, and rice a lot. Oats. That's for me. That's not for clients. That's not for other people. That's not what I suggest they do. But I do not cut carbs on people.
Okay, so do you know the Bro Science guy?
Yeah, Bro Science Life. Yeah.
He has all the
Yeah.
shirts.
Yeah, Dom. Yeah.
Dom.
Yeah. Well, he's a fake guy. That's not his real name. His name's
I know.
Mike. Yeah.
Have you ever seen him skate?
Oh yeah, I have seen a little bit of him skate.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like I clicked him along, and I was like, and then I watched his interview, and he was showing like old videos of him skating, and he's like basically like we saw these guys that were getting the girls, and it was because he's like, how the fuck are they getting girls? And they got into weightlifting, and he fucking rips. But
well, I wouldn't even know. So yeah, I saw it, but you know, I can't be the judge. So that's coming from you. I trust you.
No, he's good. Like he's there's more muscular guys, bodybuilders now. Because when I started lifting, like people looked at me, and I remember some guy, we went and skated one day, and he didn't know who we were. He was a little bit further out. And they were like, man, we saw you guys show up, and both you guys get out, and either one of you have shirts on. And this was my buddy that got me into lifting. And he was a skateboarder, but wasn't nearly into it like I was. And he was like, oh, great, he's fucking jocks on skateboards. And then he's like, and then you just start ripping. And we were like, wow. And I always looked at it like, all these athletes, hockey players, they're doing this. It's prolonging their career. No one would ever say. Now you start looking at, like, listening to some of these skaters, and they talk about going to the gym, staying in shape, how it's helping them. I'm like, it only makes sense. You know, it truly does. Like, I'm not landing on bones when I slam.
Right.
There's some meat there for one.
Yeah.
But just in general, just keeping your body, you know, Tony Hawk doesn't need it. I mean, I don't think, you know,
it helps everything you do.
So Allison is saying, where are you based? I have a friend in LA who's looking to fire their coach who keeps trying to make him go keto.
Don't go keto. I'm in Central California. But I mean, anybody that wants some, I'm not looking for clients. I'm not, advertising here. But if anybody wants advice, just DM me on Instagram, and I'm happy to help with anybody, on anything.
Full disclosure, he'd been messaging me for months saying, "Hey, I want to go on there and promote."
Shut up.
Since
No, I'm not. I fire more people than fire me, because like, you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. So,
dude, that's what, like, my buddy's a personal trainer. He was the same way. He's like, he's fired people, and he's like, dude, if they're not, I don't care that they've already paid me. If they're not going to show up and I'm sitting here waiting for them, I could be working with someone who wanted to pay me that I couldn't take out.
Yeah.
So
I don't like that sitting there. Not, well, if I'm at the gym, I'm going to do something. But I don't like when people don't show up. I want everybody to feel great and look great, and then be a referral to somebody else. And that's my goal, is that, I want you to help me with my business by doing great. And if you're not doing great, then I'll work with somebody that wants to be great. And it's tough. And also I'm strict because of the way I am.
So he's asking, do you give advice on diet? I always like hearing what in shape people eat.
I can tell you what I have a different
chicken, broccoli, and rice.
I'm on a prep right now, so my diet is kind of crazy, but I have a different diet on rest days than I do on training days. So my training days is going to have more carbs in it. It's going to have more rice in it a couple times a day. So I might have 250 grams of rice a day added on to whatever my net carbs are for the day. And on rest days, I cut that. So right now I'm eating a lot of chicken. Like I said, chicken, broccoli, rice, Greek yogurt, oats, all the good stuff. Nothing processed. Nothing out of a box or in a bag. My oats are in a bag. Can't get around that.
No, what is it called? Not Hardee's. Carl's Jr.
No, Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr.
I haven't had a hamburger since I went on a cruise last summer. Had a hamburger then.
Yeah, me neither. I made a bacon cheeseburger for the Super Bowl.
But the last show I did last year, I was eating chicken and steak every single day. And I have a coach. So my coach, and we argue a lot about what to do and what not to do. But I like to have different eyes on what I'm doing, because he'll see something that I'm not, because I'm frustrated and I'm low on carbs and what's going on? Why is my weight stalling or whatever it is? And then he'll look at it and go, oh, well, it's your cortisol, stupid. And, give me 3 days without cardio and then I'm back to normal. So,
but I don't know why people think that's weird, because you look at the greatest basketball players, hockey players, football, they have coaches, right?
Right.
Because they see something that they may not.
Right.
So I know a lot of people think it's weird. It's like, well, don't you already know what to do? Well, like I said, I know how to work out. Like, I know how to work out, but I don't know everything. So when I work out with my buddy Nick, who's a personal trainer, he would give me things to do. He would say, why don't you try this? And lo and behold, guess what? Oh, okay, that actually works.
Yeah.
If he told me, hey, why don't you try this? And I'd be like, that hurts. Well, what do you mean it hurts? It hurts to do it. Not that it's painful. There's something wrong. I physically can't do that. Okay, well then, you know what? Modify and try it like this.
Right. There's always a modification. There's a variant. There's a different machine. There's always some, and it's always good to mix those things up. So if you have a workout, that's not going to do it, Todd. No pasta.
I had spaghetti meatballs before for dinner today.
I mean, that's awesome. Good for you.
But you know what? You didn't say anything. I've seen people that are fit that look down on everyone. You didn't say anything at Joe Fest to anyone, the way they were eating or anything.
Oh no. I've been there, and I understand. Everybody's in a different part of their journey.
Yeah.
And if somebody's happy with their life and they're overweight, awesome. I want them to be as healthy as possible so they can live as long as possible. But, eventually they'll get there, or they might not. And it's not up to me to judge. Like,
I think I can speak for me, like when it comes to like YouTube, right? I have an issue when someone is asking you for help and you give them advice and they tell you, well, that's not what so-and-so said. Well, why did you bother asking me? So if someone is telling you like, hey, I want to get in better shape, I want to do this, and then you constantly see them not doing, I would assume that's very frustrating. Like, why are you wasting my time? You're asking me about nutrition, you're paying me, I give you this, and then you don't do it. Or
well, you get a lot of people that want coaching for free. So they'll ask you a million questions. Oh, right. Yeah. I'm sure I didn't. I'm sorry.
Allison says, thanks for answering the question. Muchly appreciated.
No problem, Allison. DM me if you have any questions anytime. Doesn't matter. But no, I'm never going to judge anybody. Like, I'll see somebody at, I see a lot of peers of, going to, my kids aren't in high school anymore, but when they were in high school, they were playing sports. I'd go to their events and I'd see people my age. Everybody there, their kids are, the same age. We're the same age. And I'll want to say something to somebody and say, hey, I could help you just do these two things. And I never do that, like, ever, even when I want to. And then one day somebody will just come up to me and say, hey, I want to lose 100 pounds. What do I need to do? And I'll give them a couple pieces of advice and say, go and, kill it. But you got to take that step. And
yeah.
And some people can be completely happy where they're at in life, and that's totally cool. And then some people could be overweight for a decade and hate every day of it and just don't know where to start and don't know what to do. And,
And I think that's what people don't realize. Like, there are people that are heavy set, overweight, you can call them fat, or people that are skinny, and they're happy. They don't. They don't feel they need to be muscular. They don't feel they need to be in shape.
Like,
and I know a lot of people that are in shape, that work out, that they just don't understand that. Like, they don't. Well, how could you be happy if you're overweight? Because I just don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, not everyone has the same mindset.
Right. Right.
And so do you follow Joey Swole?
Of course. Since the beginning of Instagram, when I needed an invite just to be on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah. When it was just on Apple. Yeah. Yeah. Like 2011, I think was my first post on Instagram. 2010, maybe.
Yeah. I didn't like Instagram when it first started. A friend I was working out with, he was all into it. He's like, oh, it's just like pictures. I'm like, that sounds
pictures of food. Yeah. It was all pictures of food back in the day. And it was just pictures.
Food and girls. I remember the girl, but there was a lot of food.
Well, I don't know what your feed looked like, but mine was food. Yeah. I'd like to see what your feed looks like now. Yeah.
It depends on what Instagram I'm on.
Your burner account. Yeah.
Well, no, I have a personal one, and then I have my Punk with Toys, and then I had to have the second Punk with Toys when I lost it because of Viper Island. So,
you know what? I used to get a bunch of his videos sent to me too. YouTube thought I'd like him too.
My personal one, I said before, my personal, well, it used to be my only Instagram. I said, all it is, it's half naked girls, bodybuilding, skateboarding, music, and a couple people I actually know in real life.
So half naked girls, half naked guys.
Yes.
Skateboard, yeah. I get
Skateboarding.
It. No, mine is mostly fit. Like, my other account is mostly fitness. So I have an account on YouTube, and I started watching you on that account, and then I thought, well, I'll just make one that's just toys and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why I started GI Bro. But my other account is all fitness, and I figure those two communities probably don't want to share, so I don't post the same on both and everything. So it's.
No, I think they like seeing things in moderation, where people want to see me, hey, post a video of you skateboarding. And when I do, it's cool. They like it. But if I was posting it all the time, then it becomes like, I tune in here to see your toys, not to see you skateboard.
Yeah. Well, I've tested Instagram lately with some actual pew-pews, and Instagram doesn't like it. So no. They pulled down some posts. So there was some stuff. You won't see anything of me shooting that stays up very long.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be there for a few seconds and then it'll be gone.
Allison says some people do their 3 to 5 hours a week at the gym so they can eat fast food. They don't want to lose weight. They just want to burn the fatty food calories. Very true.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. They'll have something bad. My wife said it the other day. Oh, I ate bad today, so I need to go to the gym tomorrow. I said, imagine if you ate good today and then went to the gym tomorrow. What would happen?
She wouldn't have eaten the good food. Hello?
Yeah.
Allison says, my Instagram has always been vintage choice, political activism stuff, pictures of food, and every stripper in Australia.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm not sure how that worked out.
Yeah, that's a crazy account is what that is.
Yeah. I only see you skated if it ends with you busting your ass at the end of the video. There's a couple of them. There's a couple of them up there. There's one from a couple years ago where I did a lip slide and I fell and I didn't spider or scorpion is what but I fell forward and landed on my neck and kind of rolled over. Or I didn't roll. I rolled like this and then came back. I was fine, and I felt it the next day. And like the next week or so, I was at the skate park and I was talking to the owner, and he's older than I am. He's like, man, I saw that slam. He's like, I wouldn't be getting up. I'm like, it hurt the next day. There was a lot. Yeah. There was a lot of stress on those neck muscles that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I'll miss a step and I'll go, oh man, my back just got yeah, everything. I have arthritis really bad in both hands. Like it, yeah. Ages.
If there was a machine that just like lit up arthritis, there might be. I don't know. I can only imagine because people are like, do you have arthritis? I'm like, let's see. I started lifting weights when I was 18. I started skateboarding around 11. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got it like really bad in both hands, and on like back days, I can barely move my hands at the end of the night just because it's overuse and pulls. I can't open jars. Like it's.
And that's one of the things when I started doing the fasting. Like my joints, the swelling went, not the swelling, but the inflammation started going down. I really felt like, yeah. Like
I've never found that magic thing to get the inflammation down. That's not like ibuprofen. So I hate using ibuprofen. I won't do it. And I've tried a bunch of other things, and I'm not really a hyper responder to anything, even any kind of powders or anything like that. I never really feel the effects of it.
Well, it wasn't like not inflammation like you can see, but I could just tell like stretching my hands, the knuckles cracking, like I could feel the difference. And a lot of it has to do with in your mind, but I'm also pretty. I'm self-aware, where it's like, okay, this is how I feel, and yeah, things go through your mind, but it's like this is really making me feel better because I've talked to I listened to the guy talk about intermittent fasting, and he was like, I've had people come back and they're like, oh my god, I feel so much better because of this, and they're like, do you really feel better, or is it just in your mind? And they're like, nope. No, like I've thought about that, and so again, I can't sit there and I'm not going to be that guy to preach intermittent fasting, but if you haven't tried it, it can help. Go 48 hours. I've done 36.
Well,
hours.
I've done like typical intermittent fasting is going to be a daily, like maybe you don't eat for 16 hours. Yeah, from dinner to breakfast the next day. And then, a regular fast would be your 24, 48. I've done 72 a couple times. And just the way the time worked out, I was going to do 48. And then I was like, I can make it to dinner on the third day. and then did that, and then had a great meal at that point.
Yeah, no,
so
and that's how I was every time I've done the 30. It's like you hit
Yeah.
24 and you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm in this autophagy. I'll go another fucking 4 hours. Now I only know autophagy, the name, because of other videos.
That's a big word, Lawrence.
I know, that's why I like it. When I learn how to say a big word, I gotta say it as much as possible.
You got those $5 words.
That's why I like saying obliterate the English language, because I obliterate it, but I can say that word. So there's our daily dose of nutrition and fitness. So you talked about doing competitions. What competitions have you done or are you doing?
I'm doing bodybuilding competitions now.
Okay.
Physique competitions. So don't get it twisted. I'm not doing like open bodybuilding or anything like that. So it's men's physique is the division. So
you wear G-strings on stage as well?
No, it's board shorts. It's the board short division that everybody makes fun of. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't even seen that. I don't follow it anymore like I used to.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you any of the top pro bodybuilders. I couldn't tell you who won the Olympia or the Arnold.
Yeah, it started in they have the Olympia for it, but it's open bodybuilding is the big mass monsters, and then you got 212, you got classic, and then you got men's physique. Those are your 4 men's categories.
Okay.
The men's physique started off as like a beach body division, where they would wear long, baggy board shorts that would go below the knees, and then now they're really short and tight. So it was to the point where you didn't have to work legs.
Even if you do a men's physique, don't you still have to have developed legs? And how do you see it over?
Now you do.
Yeah.
As of last year, people started wearing tighter shorts to show off their legs, but they weren't getting scored for it. But as of last year, the Olympia and the NPC, which is the amateur division of bodybuilding, they said that we want to see development in the legs. But you still don't show your full legs, but you could see calf and hamstring development, and definitely calves. Calves have always been something, so you had to work calves, but guys would not work their hamstrings or quads.
That seems crazy. It seems crazy if you're, and again, I understand, like if you're getting in 2 or 3 times a week and you're like, I'm just not getting to legs and I just don't really care. You're just trying to keep, but like if you're working out all the time, how are you? I see some of these people that are just monsters, like their upper body, and I look at their legs and I'm like, how do you not show up and just land on a squat machine or a leg press machine or something?
Don't skip legs. Or don't wear shorts. Wear sweats.
No, and being a skateboarder, I was always going to have strong legs.
You got to work legs. I haven't been working legs last couple of weeks because I had a knee thing that I don't know what it was, but I had really bad knee pain where I did legs one day, just a normal workout, and I was limping around for a couple of days. So I took the next week off, and then that turned into 2 weeks. So I haven't got back to it. So I got to get back to it.
Come on.
I have to because I'm going to get judged on it. But I was doing shoulders instead, and I need shoulder development anyway. So there's that.
Dirk Murphy says, and I'm just over here minding my own business, printing some stuff for G.I. Joe Classified.
Nice. That's another thing I did, to keep my mind off of things is I got a resin printer and started printing stuff. So
you got it. Again, if you do something all the time, you have to. I found myself for a while being so focused on YouTube and toy tubing. Again, I'm watching other YouTubers on how to grow a channel, how to make it better, present things better. I don't believe it or not. I mean, you guys may not believe it, but I do. And then and then everyone started doing live streams. Everyone started doing stuff. And Tony and I talked about this. I can't watch. I mean, I probably watch YouTube. I watch YouTube so much, but I don't watch toy tubing all day because I have to get away from it. Or else it's like I want to watch all my friends, but it's like, I got other things you have to take your mind off it.
Right. Yeah. It's work,
Or,
Yeah.
Or it just becomes an obsession.
Right.
And like you said, you were just watching all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
If you're on protein and like you said, you're very little carbs and you're not like, dude, that will drive you crazy. Just drive you crazy.
Yeah. It's one thing if you're low carb all the time and your body's used to it, you're ketogenic, so your body's used to burning that. But when you're high carb and then you go all the way down to almost no carb, now your body needs that for energy. Your workouts aren't as good. You have no energy to do it. You don't want to do it. Your mind is mush. So I needed an outlet.
Matthew, I did not call you obsessed, but Ed would probably agree too. Matthew watches a lot of toy tubing.
I bet he does.
No, I know he does.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why he's one of my moderators.
Hey, as long as you're enjoying it, do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it does, again, anything can consume you. And anything that consumes you can also be bad because of it, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And I don't think enough people take that into consideration, I don't think people take that into consideration. That like you can't do it all the time.
No. You need something. You need a hobby or something. I mean, luckily for Matthew, his hobby is toys too.
Yeah.
So, he can enjoy that.
But he has a real career.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So
Matthew never wanted to be on camera. And now he's doing all kinds of
he's good on camera.
YouTube. I agree. He really is.
Yeah.
He has a good presence.
Yep.
But sometimes it's better to not want to be on all the time because some people want to be on all the time. And then nobody wants to. I mean, again, if you talk too much on camera and you're talking about the same stuff every time, people start to be like, I don't need to hear your opinion again. I just heard it on this, or I just heard it 3 days ago or whatever. That's why I wanted this show to be completely different than anything I do on Monday.
Right.
Or what anyone is doing really in the toy tubing world. I know like Toy Games he thought we were just basically going to talk toys. And then he was like, wow, he's like, this was way different, and thank you. I got to talk about that.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was good.
All right. So back to where we're at now. What toys are you collecting? Like what lines are you collecting?
Military stuff. G.I. Joe, a couple brands you don't want to hear about.
I don't care.
No, I like Valerse.
Yep. They make good figures.
Yeah. And I even like some Joy Toy stuff. Bees got me into it. Bees Battleground. And I blame him, but man, some of them are super cool. So it's mostly military stuff. And I like Valerse. They're a good army builder, and they blend really well with the show. So
I mean, I agree. When I was collecting them, that was really the reason that I wanted background characters. And again, that is what kicked. It's not what kicked off the channel. I was doing G.I. Joe. That is what really catapulted the channel, was doing Valerse figures. And I've said this before, that I wanted to know if I wanted to buy some, but I was like, well, I'm either being told they're the biggest pieces of shit ever, or they're the greatest figures ever. There's got to be something in between. And my buddy Greg, who now allows me, he just drops stuff off for me to review. He says, I have them if you want to review them. And they had some issues, the first series.
Right.
But the amount of issues that they had wasn't going to prevent me from buying them myself. And I did. And they for the most part, progressively gotten better and better.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with the product.
Yeah.
Just let that be known.
Yeah, you're right.
People think I do. So many people think I do.
That's all I care about. So that's I'm gonna keep buying. Well, I'm gonna keep buying what I want. So
As you should. Again,
Yeah.
like any review that I do, no matter how I feel about maybe the owner of a company or the company itself, I'm there to be as objective as possible and review the product.
Right.
You know, and other than, I'll be 100% honest, other than the Swiffer, there was none that I really went into.
Yeah.
The figure wasn't bad. I thought, again, I thought it was funny dusting.
Did you see the white one? The white one looks more like a Swiffer.
Yeah.
Yeah. They sent it to me for free in a order, but
Good Lord, Roman, take that shit elsewhere. Snoring and farting all at once.
yeah, that's what I do too, Matthew.
Well, again, like now that there's so many classified, if that's what you're into, then there's not a huge reason to have Valerse. But conversely, maybe you like military, and to you, I never collected G.I. Joe. I don't like the non-military stuff. Now you have that option to get a more military for the most part.
Right, and to me, it's more about with Joe is about getting the characters that I want to get.
Yeah,
and, and I don't get a lot of army builders with that. I do a little bit. I like the bats and the vipers and stuff, but I don't get a lot of army builders with them. I do like the 60th. I thought the 60th stuff was really good. Yeah, surprising. I was surprised with all of them.
I think they're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people had a problem with them. And I know a lot of people don't like the female Marine sniper.
Oh, they need to get over it. That's a great figure.
That's a great figure.
I got it. By two, you got two different heads on. Like it's amazing. It's a good figure.
Yeah, the Halo jumper. It should have been called a pilot, but the Halo jumper, awesome.
Yeah.
I know some people have an issue with the soldier because
I like that one. I got two of those. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. And then the diver is a diver.
Yeah.
You want a couple. Well, you can maybe get lots of divers because they can't use that buck for anything else.
Right. Yeah. It's good.
Can't use that
well,
buck
now
for
we're getting
else.
a red and yellow one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get wetsuit. You're gonna get the
that'll be a good one. That'll be good.
Yeah, the Hydro Viper.
Yeah.
Probably get a shipwreck version of them. I have no issues with it.
Yeah.
I just wish there was a better way to make them look like they're swimming. And again, I'm not blaming. You can't blame Hasbro for that. Everyone said use flight stands and you can make them look like they're swimming. But then it's still kind of weird because
they're flying and they're not. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Yeah, put them in an aquarium.
I want to make them look like they're coming out of the water, like you see like the seals coming out. But I'm not gonna make a beach in my house.
Right. Right.
But it's just military. Have you tried anything with Fresh Monkey Fiction?
Yeah, I did actually. I got a mess of stuff right here, but I got Declan Van Helsing. I got the two army built, the Delta Reds, the two different versions of that. I got Dracula. I got the Kilowog because your review. Yeah. Oh, so good.
They're so much fun, and you can make this guy too. Did you see Extraction?
Oh yeah, Rake, right?
Yeah. So that's the actual gun. Remember when he puts the cloth suppressor on it?
Oh right.
That's from Top Fun Toys. He took the rake and then
like
he
the
put
wrap.
He put a little wrap, and I'm like, man, I need one. And I had this Thor head. It was from
Ragnarok.
It was actually Infinity War before they.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Infinity War, but before they knew exactly what it's going to look like. But he's really tall. He's almost a 7-inch figure. He does not fit in scale, and it's a pretty good looking figure. But if you put him with the rest of the Avengers, he towers them. It's like putting a Super 7 with Classified. It ain't going to work. And he's just been sitting up there by himself, like with other figures. And I popped the head off, and I'm like, dude, this works perfect.
Did the head fit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Marvel Legends and Valerse will fit on Operation Monster Force.
Uh,
Early GI Joes will
that's
fit,
cool.
but then they changed the stupid peg system.
Yeah, I've tried. I've got a
They're the only
Black
ones.
Widow on CoverGirl.
Yeah,
and I had to put sticky tack on it just to make it look decent.
GI Joe is the only one that they changed it, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's frustrating though.
Yeah,
that should be the same.
Yeah, I do have some Marvel Legends. I got my son the Ghost Rider, and I got the Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Okay.
Combo, and then I just got the Punisher combo, which
that's way better than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, and I'm glad you could take the stupid bushwhacker thing off his arm and just have a regular arm.
He fits with Cobra.
Oh yeah.
Like if you just want to be like a Cobra agent or something.
I mean, he looks like he looks like he could be a Dreadnought. He could yeah. And I'm making a gym, so he fits in great at the gym. Yeah.
Shocker.
I got.
What's that from? Are you 3D printing?
I 3D printed them. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I wish. I said this before. I wish they would have for the Sergeant Slaughter would have just put a different weight on it, 70 pounds.
Right.
So you don't have a bunch of 80s, right? Because there were 80s, I think, right?
Sarge wouldn't go for lower. He would want to go 100.
Okay, well, then he could have. I don't care, but you know what I mean. Like
right? Yeah. So it would go. Yeah. Instead of having the same amount.
Yeah, and then just give me a dumbbell rack.
Yeah, I have a file that's dumbbells that doesn't have numbers on it, and then I just change the scale. So I can make small ones up to big ones. So it looks like it's different weights, but it doesn't have a number on it.
I might need that file.
Okay. Yeah, I can shoot it. I can shoot you everything I got. But I got one that's like 50 things from a gym that I haven't even printed all. Like
where do you get your stuff from?
That one I bought. It was like $10 from one of I can't remember which site it was. CG, I think, or yeah, one of the. I go to two different ones, and this guy will have like 50 things for a gym or 50 things for a kitchen, and I tried it, and it's really good.
Yeah, I go to Thingiverse and I try and find stuff, and then.
Well, you're going the free route, Lawrence.
I know.
That's not the good stuff.
Well, no, if I want good stuff, I'll just have Greg print shit for me.
Okay. Well, I can't. I don't have a Greg, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has a Greg. They just have to meet him first.
Yeah.
So you're basically just military line, but you just say Dracula. Do you like horror stuff, or do you just like the Operation?
No, I was on the fence about Dracula. I got the Delta Red ones because I'm like, well, they are good army builders, and I saw reviews, and I'm like, I don't need to show the vampire face, and then I saw it, and then I was like, oh, I need to get Dracula, and then I'm like, now I want to get some like a Halloween set or something, and the Killer Warg. I saw it at Joe Fest. I was like, that looks amazing. And then missed out on it when it first came out. And then saw it was available on BBTS and pulled the trigger.
So what do you think of Dracula?
He's okay. I wish he was more military.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to pop and swap, I think, a little bit, make him a little more military, get rid of that coat. He's fine. It's fine. Okay. It's Dracula.
See, I think Dracula and the Forgotten King, they're pretty much the exact same book. Ed and I talked about
I didn't get the Forgotten King. I didn't get any of the bad guys. So I just got the vampires and the Killer Warg.
Oh man, you didn't get any of the
those Nazi those German looking soldiers.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I didn't get any of those.
But they have two different helmets. Like not all of them one of them has the old, because it's the old school Palatoy looking head.
Okay.
They give it to you. Of course, I don't have any lying around me. They're all actually downstairs. The other thing, do you have I don't know if you saw it. Do you have Big Ben?
No, I did see what you. I didn't even know he came with that.
Oh yeah, Big Ben's the only guy that he removes from his neck rather than the top of the head, and that's so they can put the gas mask on and have all the detail below it.
I didn't realize it did that.
Yeah,
that's interesting. So
you can pop that off if you have Big Ben. Of course, this goes back to my whole thing of like, I'm not gonna buy those field variants because I'm not gonna spend an extra $20 on a figure I don't need. And here I'm buying like extra fucking $38 figures just because I need a buck that I'm gonna mess around.
Just buy a used one. Just buy one that's just the buck or something. Like
no one
you
has
can get them cheap.
Not those. No,
but they're parting those things out on Mercari and.
Are they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can buy the head. You can buy all the accessories.
I kept throwing. Because I have like 3 of the same one. Like I have all of them, but I have like 3 of the same one, and that's because when I would go to order something on BBTS, at the time, if you went over $100, it pushed no interest for 6 months. So that gives me time for all the stuff that I'm, through YouTube and everything. I just keep putting it on it. Right. So I'd have to just, I throw on a figure so I could have it. Now they raise that no interest up to, 150. Well, it was a lot easier when something was 80, 85 to find something to push you over, over 100 to do that.
Right.
If you're at $80 and now you got to come up with an extra $70, not that easy.
Yeah.
Because you got to make your money back up on it. But I love these bucks, man. And they have such good. The weapons are decent.
They're impressive.
The accessories,
yeah, for something new, like it's.
And you can swap them.
Yeah, and the articulation's great. Like no complaints.
Real smooth joints.
Like there's a couple things on Dracula, the boot cut or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's just a design thing. They had to go that route to make it the way they wanted to look. So
yeah, I love
it's still a good figure.
Yeah, I love the Forgotten King and Dracula.
Yeah, I didn't get Forgotten King or any of his guys. So I don't know how many of those soldiers there were, but I didn't get those.
There was 3. It's kind of disappointing that they're all the exact same. They're just painted.
That's with the Delta Red too. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
they just swapped out colors.
But like you said, with the different heads, you can make so many different types of figures.
Right.
And what's
I
cool
even like the lore that they've come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, I want to see that.
They took one of the most unoriginal ideas, monsters. Everyone knows, Van Helsing, Dracula, werewolves, and they made it. They made it original.
Yeah.
They're fighting a military. Like, how many of us didn't dream of stuff like that as kids? When we're with GI Joe and you're creating a different military.
Yeah, it's a mashup.
Yeah, and the idea of they can be vampire, or if they take the blood, they can be vampires for so long, but then they have to be brought back out before then.
Right.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, and Dracula's going to turn on him. We know that's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't think Van Helsing and Dracula.
I don't think it's going to go down as planned. But it's a great setup.
Yeah, I don't think they're new best buddies like Matthew and Spec.
No. Yeah, it's a great idea though, and it's a cool little story they're putting on.
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. Looks like it's going to come out.
Don't make me buy the Forgotten King and all the soldiers. Yeah. All
right. So the soldiers, like the masks, they're because they need to constantly be fed the sleeping gas. That's how they're controlled. But they have gas masks, just like on this here, it has the gas mask there.
Yeah.
They can put them on both sides, and there's a bunch of different ones that you can do. You can put hoses onto them. You can have pointy ones. You can have the bigger ones. You can have it only on one side.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Damn it. Just order one.
But it doesn't stay one. Yeah, it's all of them, and then it's multiple of them, so I could make different versions. Yeah, that's
I'm your pusher. What can I say?
right. Yeah, that's what it is. But I don't have that YouTube cash coming in to
Well,
offset
start making videos.
Yeah, not gonna. Yeah,
You
I got a couple of ideas. I'm gonna do some YouTube.
You could make a fitness / toy review video.
That sounds like it will fail in 2 different categories.
I will watch it.
You're about the only one.
I might watch it just to crack jokes.
Yeah. No, I'm not interested in doing anything like that. But I told you I've got that garage full of stuff. I think I'm gonna make a series of what I find in my garage. And
you should, yeah. I mean,
and a lot of it is, you know, stuff that I had as a kid, or it's stuff that's never been opened that's worth a lot of money. So
a lot of things that people don't realize about YouTube. Now, again, I'm doing reviews, and yes, I have. Again, I'm self-aware, so I'm not going to sit there and act. You know, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I know I've become one of the bigger, what people would consider a Joe-tuber, right? But a lot of what people are doing on YouTube is they're just trying to share their enjoyment with other people, you know, from all over the world. So if someone can see like what you have in your garage, especially if you do like, and I don't know why I ever said garage like that. I've never said it like that in my entire life.
Right.
Until just now.
That's how they
right?
say it in Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's garage. All right. I don't know where that pronunciation came from. But like if you did a few videos and you were just showing people, like you're talking to people that are interested, and a lot of people love seeing that type of stuff.
Yeah, and I like video editing and stuff like that. So we skipped over it, but there was a time where I was doing videography for a while.
Okay.
So so I enjoy doing that anyway.
Well, you have some nice pictures.
Yeah, I have some pictures, but I'm terrible at photography.
Well,
I'm not good at lighting, you know, and I've never. All those are with iPhone, so I'm not.
So mine.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, I mean, whatever works, right? But
yeah.
I've got a better camera. I just never use it.
If I get a good picture, it's thanks to the iPhone. If the lighting is good, it just happened to be. Because I don't know what the hell.
Oh no, I've got lights and stuff. I'm just not good at it. You know, I'm not David Speck. You know, he knows what he's doing. So
yes, he does.
Sherlock.
I have to catch this on the replay, but I had to drop it and say hi. I had to say what's up to Joe Bro. And you got to find out where he got his name from.
Yeah.
So, what do your kids think about this?
They're cool with it. I mean, they're nerds and they collect and they're into all this stuff. Yeah. They don't collect toys, but you know, they have other things. My daughter has a ton of Pops and she loves comic books. My son loves comic books and video games and stuff like that. Their generation's different. I don't think. Yes. I don't know that they'll ever collect toys, but like we do, because we have a background with the lines.
There'll be something new.
Yeah.
And if it's toys, and I talked about this with someone in the house, and I said, when our kids, if they decide to collect toys, or the generation of what our kids, it might not be G.I. Joe. Probably wouldn't be G.I. Joe. They might be collecting a new Fortnite line because that's what they played. Yeah. Or Skyrim or shit like that, right? Like that's the type of stuff. Toys are going to exist. Action figures are going to exist. It'll just be different than what we had. Yeah, my son's into One Piece. That anime, nice. Yeah, and live action. And so when we were at Joe Fest, he got a couple figures from that. Okay. Yeah. So I mean that's cool. Yeah, I didn't watch the animated series. There's like what 5,000. It's like 1,100. I think. Yeah. He's not close. Yeah, I like the Netflix series. He loves the Netflix series, and he's been watching that anime, but there's a lot. Sherlock says clearly it's a leg day because he's not doing curls during the interview. No, rest day. You got to rest. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
No, yeah, you have to, especially my age. Yeah, it matters.
Yeah, and that's rough. Okay, so where do you see your collecting going?
I would love it for it to slow down a little bit. I think my wife would agree, but I don't know. Thanks to the to Hasbro, I think it's gonna.
Possibly.
Yeah,
mean,
I don't know what's gonna go on with this year, but I don't know because I don't have them on display. I got them in a lot of container boxes.
Okay.
I enjoy putting them in container boxes because I make stupid labels for them and everything, so it's all organized. But I'm like, what am I doing? They're in little boxes. They feel like they should be out, but I honestly don't know. I'm just gonna keep getting Joe's until I'm tired of it.
How does your wife
until the line slows down? I think until I got everybody that I really wanted. Yeah, but I don't get like all the retros because the repaints of the originals, unless it's a true retro like Duke or something or Scarlet. That's a true retro, but they're just re-releasing stuff and putting retro on it. I'm not interested in that.
And again, a lot of people don't like to hear this, but a lot of that, like the Snow Serpent and Eos, was because people couldn't get them.
I get that too, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. But I don't, if I don't need to get it, then I'm not going to be. Getting
and
it.
that's like people are so mad about it. It's like you don't have to buy it. Like a lot of people didn't get them. This is now your chance to get it. Now, I have my complaints on it, especially with the Snow Serpent not being, he's retro. He should have retro gear. But it's like, hey, if people weren't able to get it, now you're giving them a chance to get it. But at the same time, they're saying, hey, that one was hard to get. You're going to keep your value. We're not just going to re-release it. But everyone can have the eel. Everyone can have the Snow Serpent. And they're pretty close to.
Yeah, and like I'm not a big Snake Eyes fan, so I have the Snake Eyes that I want. Okay. I don't care if a new one comes out. I'm not going to get it. Yeah. I don't like Ninja Snake Eyes. Sorry, everyone that does. It's great, but I like Commando Snake Eyes. I got a great Commando Snake Eyes.
Yeah, and
so
it's okay to be wrong about that stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Snake Eyes version 2 still I feel is the best. Other than the version 2 Mezco, which is actually the version 1 of theirs, the Commando Snake Eyes and Mezco is way better.
I couldn't get it. I'm still on the wait list. Is it going to happen?
No,
I didn't think so.
That was
and I'm not going to pay over 200 for it. I'm not going to pay over 200 for it. Yeah, no, that's I wanted it, but I didn't get it.
But I'll tell you what, you have the retro version.
Yeah. I got that one, and I got the desert one, which I was surprised. I like that one.
I don't care what anyone says. That desert one is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Snake Eyes wasn't always black. There are other iterations. Right. He's mostly a black figure.
Yeah.
The desert one's pretty cool. Yeah. And if you don't like it, then don't buy it.
Yeah, I like a lot of the desert stuff. So, that's another thing that Valerse does, a ton of desert. So, for army builders and stuff, it's pretty cool. I get a lot of those.
Yeah, I had heard rumors they were supposed to do more desert stuff. Like there was a theme with the Snake Eyes, but we haven't seen it. So I don't know. Maybe if they've course corrected because they didn't see a market for it.
Well, are they ever going to do Vamp Mark II? I mean,
oh yeah.
Well, you would think that they would want more desert stuff to go with it.
Yeah, and I thought the Vamp Mark II would come out sooner, but clearly they must have seen that. Hey, we gave people the Vamp and the Stinger. Let's cool down with that, and we'll come back to that mold in a little bit. Let's move on to the Awe Striker.
Right.
I don't know what else they're going to do with the Awe Striker. I mean, there's a lot of different iterations.
A desert one would be great too, but
yeah. But there's no iconic ones. And
no.
You just went black.
Did I?
You turned off your screen, I think.
There we go.
There you are.
I think my headphones paired. I'm on my iPad.
Oh, okay. So we'll start wrapping this up because it's after midnight here. What made you just got into collecting, really? or collecting GI Joe stuff.
Right. A year.
What made you say, I'm just going to go to this thing called Joe Fest?
I don't know. Like, I think it was everybody was talking about it at the time. Yes, the 60th is. I really like the 60th. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I was just getting into the toy tube stuff, and it was coming up. It was ramping up, and I was kicking it around, and I wanted to go, and I thought, oh, this would be fun. This will just be something for me to go do, instead of it. You know, we do family vacations all the time and stuff, but I just wanted some. You know, my son went with me, which was awesome, but yeah, I just thought, oh, it'll be interesting. We being in California, I had been going to San Diego Comic-Con since '95 was the first one I went to, and then we went to all of them until the mid 2000s.
Okay.
Kids were little, and then, you know, it was a little much for them to go every year. And I haven't been back for a couple of years. I think 23 we went was the last Comic-Con we went to. So we really like cons and stuff like that.
Yeah, I want to make it out to San Diego Comic-Con. And
it's not the same. It's huge. Yeah, it's not the same as Joe Fest, but it's
no. I mean, it's just one of those things I do want to go to, and
it's awesome.
And my daughter lives in San Diego right now. My oldest.
Oh yeah, perfect. So
that's where that's where Olivia and her mom are right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, and she got a job with Chuck, the guy that did Looney Tunes, his estate. And they were at San Diego Comic-Con outside of it at a venue doing something. And I'm like, that's awesome. You got to go before I did. But it still costs money to get out there, even if I'm going to crash.
Oh yeah.
You know, everything costs money no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, and you can't get a hotel. Like it's booked. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would just stay. I would just crash on her couch anyway.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So that, and if she's going down there, it'd be even better. I wanted to say Chuck Jones, but I had Chuck Berry in my mind going, I know it's not Chuck.
It's not Chuck Berry.
Yeah, Chuck Jones. I was gonna say Chuck Jones, but I was thinking Chuck Berry was Chuck Jones because it's after midnight.
It's 9:00
for you.
Yeah. I got to get my last meal in.
How much are you eating now? Like how many
calories?
How many times do you eat a day?
Oh, four times a day now.
Okay.
In the off season, it's 5.
All right.
Yeah. So it's not too bad, but I get all my calories in.
And do you enjoy doing the shows?
Yeah, they're fun.
Okay.
They're fun. It gives me a competitive outlet, and I'm not. It's not like I'm competing in an open category where I can go up against 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in my category. You know, or the one younger than me, just younger than me.
Okay.
So it would be like I'd be in your category too.
Yep.
So I'll do a few different categories, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of people that are like-minded.
Again, I think that's where, the people that say they don't like going to conventions because some of us are obsessed with, our toys. That's like saying I don't like going to a skate park because I don't want to be around other people that just obsess about skateboarding.
Right? Yeah.
I kind of want to be around some people that. I mean, I can go out and skateboard by myself, but I'll tell you what, it's just not as fun. It's also like at this age, it should be a buddy system.
You know what? You asked me why I decided to go to Show Fest, and I think it was from being in this chat. I think that was what really fueled it. Talking to so many people in the chat, getting to know people, virtually, and then being able to meet them there was pretty awesome.
I mean, I know like Matthew has said, oh, hey, DFW, they have this creator, and like Tony and I was like, I don't care. Ed's the same way. If I would have went there and spent no money, I would have had just as much of a good time. I did not
Yeah.
come away with anything from Joe Fest that I could not have got elsewhere.
I spent too much money, but yeah, I agree.
But you could have gotten anything that you got
I could have.
elsewhere.
Right, I could have gone on eBay, probably cheaper.
Yeah,
in some cases. Cases,
and
I did find some really good deals.
Yeah, I'm not an autograph seeker, so I'm not looking to talk to the creators. And there are a lot of people that are, and that's awesome. Like if that's what you're into, that's cool. I just enjoyed the camaraderie, meeting people that we've got to know. And there is a difference with getting to know people in a chat and seeing people all the time online. Like
Right.
I know there's a huge connection with me because people see me, every Monday and Thursday, and God knows every other time that they see me.
Yeah.
And we see Tony, and now we see Matthew, and we see Ed, and you do have a connection. And then when you actually talk to people online like this, what's the difference of this is, there's no difference of this than if we're sitting in a room together.
Right.
It's not like we're like touching each other.
Right.
Obviously, we're working out. You might want a spot, but a little bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just, like I said, if I went there for 4 days and didn't buy anything, and all the people that we've got to know and hang out with, it'd be well worth it.
Yeah, I didn't. It's not like I got some vintage figure that I couldn't find anywhere else, or this hard to find item. I came away with a bunch of new friends, and that was the funnest thing for me. Some memories.
And again, for like me, like I have Sergeant Reds down the street. He buys so much stuff. I can get pretty much any vintage figure that I probably want. He probably has every vintage toy at one time is flowing through there. He sold an Eternia, I think, right before or after Christmas. The original Eternia.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just like, I don't need to go to conventions. I don't need to go to too many, cons, in the area, the smaller ones, to get anything. I have stores, and I'm lucky. I know not everyone does, so I'm not even trying to say anything. But even eBay, Macari, like you said, you can get all this stuff, but you just can't get the camaraderie.
Right.
And War Chest is showing up right as we're about to
War Chest
to bolt. And what the hell is that picture? Is it you smoking a cigar with sunglasses on? And Stanley says, agreed, the chat community is leading me to attend Joe Fest.
Yeah.
And there's a lot, again, like if you can't do Joe Fest, I know people do, Legion's Con, which is someplace I would love to go also.
Yeah.
But I will tell you what, here's the difference between Legion's Con and Joe Fest. One, it's going to be fucking cold, so you're not going to be outside of it.
Yeah.
Joe Fest
is the opposite. Yeah.
It's the exact opposite. Yeah. It is hot.
Yeah.
Even at midnight and 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. And Daredevil Dave says, the whole reason I went to Joe Fest was to meet and talk to in person the people I had met in this YouTube community. I was not disappointed.
Yeah.
No, and again,
Dave was great. We hung out. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, there were so many people that came up that I'm not saying that I wasn't planning on meeting, but there were certain people that you knew you were going to be meeting and hanging out with, and then there, like, you showed up, boom, and I think it might have been Moody that was like, oh my God, it's GI Bro.
You guys rolled into the customizer thing, Mark T Designs. Yeah, and I had paid to go in there, so I had the figure and the whole thing, and I had talked to Mark. He's great. And then Moody and you guys came in. Tony came in with you. Yeah. And then I was talking to Moody, and then you heard me.
And there was a lot of people that a lot of people I don't remember. Apologize. But just people that kind of came up to you. And, I'm so-and-so. And okay. Other people that are like, I'm like, I watch you all the time. I was like, what's your name? He's like, I don't ever comment. Or I just watch your video. I don't even watch any of your lives. When I did the walkthrough, one of the toy stores from Florida stopped me because they recognized me. which that was kind of like oh my God, like I didn't. Not as weird as the Savage Crucible.
Yeah.
Not as weird as the Savage Crucible guy.
Yeah.
Remembering my review.
Yeah.
And not being happy.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
I wish I had that on video.
You know, I had somebody at Joe Fest recognize me from my from the chat, from my picture in the chat. From
really?
my account picture. Yeah.
I gotta say this. Don't take this the wrong way. The picture you have on Instagram, you do not look like you're in great shape.
Oh, the angle of it or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I see that and I'm like, he looks like one of those heavy set guys who's trying to be Sergeant Slaughter.
No. Well, you can't see my abs, but
I mean, I see your purpose.
Yeah.
I'm like, those aren't the arms that we saw.
Oh, so the angle's bad. Well, I was trying to do the cigar thing.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my vices. So my only vice. But my wife picked the picture. So I'm like, what do you think of these? Because I had different hats on and she said that one. So I'm like, all right, whatever.
And Clint Jorgensen says, very close to booking for Joe Fest, but sadly last year I was going, but the state authorities in Virginia and Utah wouldn't let me leave the state lines.
Well, that sounds like a story you got to tell at Joe Fest.
Yes, I agree.
I need to know more.
Joe Fest, people wear deodorant, right? It's
not everyone. Not everyone.
I don't remember having anyone. I don't remember being around anyone.
There was a lot of sweaty people, Lawrence.
Oh, there were sweaty people.
Yeah.
And I'm downwind from people.
It was actually cold on the floor.
You know what? I think Tony kept bitching about it. Tony,
yeah, I was freezing, but I
don't remember being cold at all.
No, I was cold.
You know who was not cold? Pop Blender and that stupid Busey.
And the squirrel thing.
Beaver outfit. Man, we're sitting there doing Mega J's thing, and I'm like, who the fuck is this idiot with the stupid fucking beaver? Right? And then when we got done, I'm coming down the back steps, and I'm like, fuck, there's that fucking stupid beaver. And then I'm like, God damn it, I know that beaver. Like this fucking Pop Blender.
I didn't know who it was either until we were on the floor. I think it was after closing, and we were hanging out at Delta 17.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Delta 7. Delta. I'm sorry. Yeah. But we were at that booth, and then he comes up, and then he turned around, and I was like, "What are you wearing?"
I remember seeing him while sitting there in Mega J's, and I'm like, I hate people like this. And then I saw him as soon as we got done, we were walking, and I saw him again, and I'm like, ugh. And then it's like he's walking over. I'm like, that's fucking Pop Blender. God damn it. Never judge a beaver by its cover, I guess. Anyway, Rich, I want to thank you. It's after midnight, so I do want to wrap it up because I have one more day of work.
I get it.
But thank you so much. I could sit here and talk.
No problem.
We could probably talk more about lifting weights and nutrition.
Again, let's do another one.
Yeah, I don't do it nearly as much. I just enjoy because again, whether or not I do it, I have this years of knowledge and stupid things. We could talk about stupid things that we've seen. We were talking about that with toy games, right? The amount of stupid things that we've seen.
Yeah.
Watching people squat to impress someone, and you're like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Why you
for sure? I'll see some guy trying to show this young girl that he's trying to get with or something how to do something. I'm like, don't know what you're doing, and you're trying to show off to this girl with no knowledge. But that's a gym. I'm lucky. I don't work out in a gym like that.
Yeah.
I work out in a basement gym that's just machines and nobody in my way. So
that sounds awesome.
Yeah. No broccoli haired kids in pajama pants. None of that.
My buddy was a personal trainer. He used to wear pajama pants. I'm like, why do you do that, Nick? He's like, it's comfortable. But he's that guy.
Okay.
He was that guy doing like the pull-ups, and he's like doing the whole like moving. He's so strong, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? You can get away with that stuff. You're one of those people that can do it.
Look at your dog.
Yeah, I know. I already seen him. He was snoring and farting all at once.
No.
It was great. All right. Thank you guys all for watching. Catch him on Instagram. I didn't put your YouTube because do you?
No, there's nothing on there.
Okay. Yes, I didn't put your YouTube. I did put your Instagram. So go over there, check out his Instagram. If he likes you, he will promote your page when you do something new.
Do something cool, and I'll
I
promote
love
for sure. Yeah. And
guess-
hit me up if you guys have any questions for sure.
Yes, and he's now soliciting for clients right now.
No, I'm not.
No, I love people that are willing. Again, that's your profession. That's what you do. And the fact that you're willing to be like, hey, you know what? If you have a question, just shoot me a message. And
Yep.
you know, I tell everyone about YouTube. Like, hey, if I know something, I'm more than happy to share it with you.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's what I need to do. Yeah.
it's a great way to live your life.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rich, GI Bro, thank you very much. Everyone, tune in this Saturday for Saturday Night Toy Ramblings, where I'm going to ramble on for about an hour, and then we're going to switch to the clubhouse. But it's going to be the clubhouse done my way. We're going to talk GI Joe, not fucking all Mythic Legion.
Oh, let's go.
Just kidding. We will be talking. All right. Take care. I'll see you guys later.